Good morning. I'm Fred Markham, recording here live for the city of Tallahassee at the Senior Games. This is WCO-TV, WCOT TV 13 here at the beautiful Four Oaks Park. Just opened a couple of years ago. This is our second annual time that we've played the Senior Games here in this park, and these courts are beautiful, and the weather's cooperating with us this morning. We're joining a game in progress now. It's about 7-1. Teams are Kevin Coleman and Sue Rasmussen on the gate side of the fence, and Steve Baumer and Casey Anderson on the far side. These are all Tallahassee people in the 50 to 54 age group. So 8-2-1. I just heard a score called by Sue when she served. And nope, must have been 10-1 because now the game is over. 11-2. Okay. This morning we're gonna get started here. We'll have games. This is court 1, where the medal games will be played for each of the age brackets as they come along. This last game was round robin play. As we go, various people will join me here. Lennon Mongerie, who is the head of pickleball for the city of Tallahassee, will come in a few minutes and tell us a little bit about how the city operates pickleball and how his role and plans for future activities and so forth. And we'll discuss some plans that pickleball community would like to see happen, like new courts and modifications to some of the courts and that kind of thing. So today we're being supported by 19 volunteers provided by the Tallahassee Pickleball Association. In the 3-day event, which began on Tuesday with the Senior Games, and I mean with the singles matches, men's singles and women's singles. That was a rainy day, and we played those indoors. The men played at Walker Ford Community Center. It's a nice little venue with 3 courts on a basketball court, and then the women's singles played at Jack McLean Community Center. Also 3 courts indoors on a basketball court with temporary nets. Yesterday we had men's doubles and women's doubles, and that was here at the park. And it was a windy day. There was a lot of wind. We've got some wind going now, and it's probably going to pick up. Normally picks up through the late morning and early afternoon. It has some effect on play. Today we're having the mixed doubles. As you can see, the game just finished. Kevin Coleman and Sue Rasmussen, I think, have won one game and lost one game.
Sue and Bill,
Steve Baumer and Casey Anderson, this is the first game I saw them play, and they lost that one 11-2.
And Cynthia, Richard and Janet, your next match is ready.
The format here,
and Judy, Lisa and Randy.
The format here in this age group, 50 to 54 age group, is that the games, each match is 1 game, played to 11, win by 1. And they're doing a round robin pool, and at the end they'll take the top teams and play a gold medal, silver medal match, and the next 2 teams will play a match, and the winner will get the bronze medal. So we have a new match starting up soon. I'll get the slip from my runner, who is Randy Yarborough. The volunteers were arranged and organized by Penny Isom, who is a Tallahassee Pickleball Association member. I, by the way, am the past president of the Tallahassee Pickleball Association and was the founding president when we started it in May of, I think it was 2022. Could have been 2021. It's been 2 or 3 years now. I'm watching a game on court 2 now that you can't see, but it's a game with Ryan, also in the 50-54 age group, with Ryan Burke and Holly Snyder versus Charles Robshaw and Roxana Patterson. And they've got quite a match going on over there. Lennon? I'm ready for Lennon now. Lennon Mongerie is going to join me here in just a second. This is going to be a long day. We've got brackets in 5-year age groups, 50, 54. 50 is the youngest age for the senior games, and it goes on up. We have players in their 80s. Lennon is joining me here. Hello, Lennon.
Hey, how you doing?
Good morning. Good to see you.
Oh, yes.
Yeah. So Lennon leads pickleball for the city of Tallahassee. You want to introduce yourself and your position?
Oh, yes. My name is Lennon Mongerie. I'm the tennis operations supervisor for the city of Tallahassee. Although I'm the tennis operations supervisor, I'm also responsible for all the pickleball that the city has. All the programs, whether it's private lessons, we make sure I get the pros, or clinics, tournaments, or leagues. And one of the things we want to make sure you guys get this year is that if you don't know, if Fred had not mentioned to you, it's the record year for us. We have 302 people who signed up for pickleball this year, and this is within all 3 divisions. This is singles, men's and women, doubles, men's and women, and mixed doubles, obviously today. So it's a huge step for pickleball. Last year we had 166.
We've doubled it this year.
And not only that, we have there's no sport that's close to that.
Oh yeah,
No sport.
So in the senior games there are like 13 events.
Yes.
Counting track and field.
Right. And
Pickleball has by far the most participants.
And every year it's growing and growing and growing. So it's definitely a force we reckon with.
I think we're going to need a larger park next year, more courts to play this on, eh?
That's a hint.
That's right. So today you've got 108 participants in the mixed doubles.
Correct. We have 108, and they come from all over the place. For example, Lisa and Randy, they came from Panama City. We have people who came from Port St. Joe. We have them all from all over, trying to qualify for the States. Last
night I played against a match against one gentleman from Tennessee who was playing with a partner from Port St. Joe.
Yeah. They come from all over because, they not only is Tallahassee also one of the biggest ones around, but it's also an opportunity for them to see some of the things that we have. All right, so.
So we're waiting for a match to start here on court 1.
Yeah, so what's going to happen on court 1, we're waiting for court 2 and 3 to finish as a round robin, so the players are being held up by those players, and that's going to be an exciting match. It's always an exciting match when you have like for example, we have
Holly and Ryan.
Yes, Holly and Ryan.
Ryan and Roxanne.
Correct. Those are tough matches. Those are tough matches. So when they come on that court 1, it'll be a show.
Yeah.
Especially with Ryan, he has that. He has
flair.
that paddle, that flair. He's going to give it to you every time. So. Yeah. One of the things I want to really make sure I commend you and thank you for. I know that you have the choice of always deciding to help or not, but one thing the Tallahassee Pickleball Association has done year by year is to help us out, and that has been a tremendous help to us. Like today, I have
volunteers.
Yeah, the volunteers. Right now I have 4 just at the registration desk.
Right.
Again, testimony. You're sitting right here. There's another one, and we have countless of them. Making announcements for us. So without question, the Tallahassee Pickleball Association has played a huge role in our success, and I know not just in our success, but in just trying to make sure that we grow the sport and let people know. So thank you.
Yeah, last year we had, I think, 35 volunteers total. This year we've got 40, and as Lennon is the tournament director, of course, for this tournament, and as he just said, we've got 4 people working in the registration tent, the tournament director tent. We've got Randy Yarborough running for that tent, moving people on and off the courts, and we've got several other volunteers keeping the play moving around the courts here.
Yeah, so. And the other thing I want to mention is that, like yesterday we had a rain, a lot of rain. I was here early in the morning at around 5:30 or so, trying to get the courts ready. But it's interesting. I sent a Facebook thing out, right, and the email say, "Hey, come out and help. The pickleball players are out here." By 6:15, we had people with blowers and squeegees, and you name it, you call them, they're gonna be here.
Right.
And again, half of them are Tallahassee Pickleball Association members.
Right.
So again, that's showing big. The matches look at the finish over there, so we may be getting one on soon.
Okay. Yeah. We the Tallahassee Pickleball Association started. We're in our third year. We've got the board now. We're ending the third year. In May, we will elect the fourth board. We started with 5 or 6 members who just formed the board, started the corporation, and nonprofit 501c3 corporation. We now have 400 and something on our member list and 350 plus active members.
Oh yeah, it's growing.
It's a small fee, an annual $25 annual fee that renews every year in your month of joining, and people just keep renewing, and new people keep joining.
And the other good thing about the partnership that the city and the Tallahassee Pickleball is starting to get better at is understand that both of them need each other, right?
Right.
So you got so many members you have that not only volunteer but also play in the event. You know, the testimony, look at the president right there. He's on court too right now. That's Rodney Hawk. We call him CD, but that's Rodney Hawk. Yeah, he's the current president, and he's joined. We have Vicky. I mean, just to name a few.
Yeah, most of the people in this tournament are Tallahassee Pickleball Association members, just because that's the local association.
Correct. And we're the only one. You're the only one we have right now.
Not everyone joins it. Not everyone. There's no requirement to join it to play. A lot of anybody, member or non-member, can play on these city courts and the county courts as well. But it is important that we have members. The association formed specifically and only to be an advocate for Tallahassee area pickleball, trying to get resources, trying to get more services. We encourage the city to provide clinics and instructors and help them get that started, and we provide people to our members participate in those activities. And
you're absolutely right, because one of the things the city is also seeing is that the growing number of pickleball players that the city's starting to have. You know, we're starting to have more courts built, right? So you have the project over there by Osaka, the blueprint to get 4 courts there. The senior
it's the Market District that will be completed in the 4th quarter of this year.
Correct. We have the seniors, the senior center is supposed to be also having courts, although that's not broken ground yet, but that's also. So you can see that the city themselves have been seeing the need for the growth of the game, and contributing in taking step by step and seeing how they could meet those needs. We have changed some tennis courts and make it multi-use, like the Winthrop Park court.
Right. Yeah. We have two of the courts. Multiple smaller venues have 2 tennis courts that can be dual use for pickleball. Winthrop has 6 pickleball courts that each pickleball court can be used instead for 1 pickleball court. And there's a lot of contention or competition for the court time there. And we're beginning to talk with the city about modifying that court layout to increase the number of players that can be gotten on. I hope to hear more today about the new senior center. I've heard rumors that it's going to be built soon and that it will have 6 indoor pickleball courts. I really would like to hear some detail about that. Will those 6 courts have an outdoor type surface?
Right.
You know, will they have permanent nets, or will it be multi-use for other activities or dedicated pickleball? Those kinds of things. The Tallahassee Pickleball Association would like to have input into the construction of that, make sure that the court spacing, is what our members like. And that
Right.
So we need to talk more about that, and hopefully we can have some details today.
Yes.
On the air here. So.
All right, looks like we have 4 players out there. So who we got?
We have on this side we have Steve Ballmer and Casey Anderson, and on the far side Holly Snyder and Ryan Burke. And I believe they are undefeated at this time, Holly and Ryan. So this should be a good match. They're going to play to 11, win by 1. This is the 50 to 54 age group. Steve served, Ryan got an overhead, Holly got an overhead, and I believe she may have.
It looked like it was in.
Oh, we have a lot of traffic. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's okay. Ball was out. Steve is serving 1-0-2.
Okay. Nice. Now that's one of the things we are seeing a lot in the game is that, especially when the players are in a bad situation, they just rip the ball rather than try to hit that 3rd shot or that 4th, 5th shot drop.
In that last point, Casey popped the ball up.
Yeah.
And
It's a little wide.
put it away.
It's a little wide.
Yeah.
She put her finger out. It's a little wide on that one.
Yeah. You call out and it can indicate with your finger or your hand an out ball. Holly served. Ryan's 3rd shot is a drive for a point. So
She looked a little surprised at that one too.
yeah, well, Ryan hits the ball hard. Okay, so Holly's serving now. Return is long. See if we can hear what the score is. I think it may be 3-1.
You're not saying the score.
Oh, they whisper it.
Yeah.
People don't say the score loud enough for the opponents to hear, let alone for us to hear over
And
here.
the issue is everything is okay until it's not okay, right?
It's a good return by Casey. Nice 4th shot as well. Ryan can't get that one up over there.
But you know one of the
She
things
was able to hit down. Casey was able to hit down on that last shot. Put Ryan in trouble.
that's Ryan's 2nd server.
Yeah. Okay, 2nd server is Ryan. So each team serves 2 times. Both players serve once. When they lose their serve, the 2nd time it's called a side out. Service goes to the other side. Only the serving team can score here. So Ryan serves, Casey returns, Holly hits the 3rd shot, short. Casey can't get it back over the net.
And they're gonna switch.
So here we have 6-1, I believe, and at 6, a score of 6, we change sides. And the reason for that is twofold. There's the sun and the wind that make a difference in a point. We have both in play today. Ryan is serving at 6-1. He's the 2nd server. Another 3rd shot drop.
Well, as you can see, he sees where he can get his easy points, right?
Right.
So he's going ahead and do that.
Yeah.
And that's why he's just. If you also notice the return, they're not hitting the ball as deep as they should be hitting it. They're not getting it deep. So what's happening? The person on the other side who just served now has the upper hand. Now has the upper hand.
You want to return to serve deep. Let's see what Steve's able to do with Ryan's serve here. Return to serve deep. That forces the serving team to stay back for the bounce. You turn it short. All right. That was a good deep return right on the line. You see the difference here. Steve got a great deep return bounce right on the line. Ryan put his 3rd shot high, and Casey was able to put it away. So now the serve side out serve goes to Casey at 1-7, I think. Serve is out. 2nd serve now with Steve Ballmer. Steve serves a short serve. Return to short. They almost got into a dink rally there. We haven't seen any dinking much in this game. That was as close as we got to a dink rally. Holly serves. Ryan's 3rd shot drive. Steve handles it. Now we're dinking.
But you know, one of the things
Holly gets a nice cross-court dink.
You know, one of the things, the strategy that's happening, I'm not seeing them doing, is when the person serves the ball, the returner gets the ball back. The 3rd shot should generally go to the person coming in.
Right.
They're hitting the ball right to the net person. Look, you just did it again.
Yeah.
See, by doing that, you're going to cut the point off.
Yeah.
And you're not going to have a chance to get in.
Right.
Because you're hitting the ball to the person on the net.
Yeah, if you hit to the person moving, they're not established yet.
Exactly.
I think he may feel like he's got an advantage hitting a hard third shot to Casey, because she's not been able to handle a heat at this point. Not every point. She has gotten some
Wilford
of
and
them.
Janet, Sue and Bill, your next match is ready.
Ryan
Court
serving
number
8-1-2.
5.
Nice,
I
nice
just didn't
deep
notice a
rally.
lot. Look at Ryan's paddle. It's down. Needs to be up. Just in case he got a surprise hit. But he hadn't been surprised yet, so he can keep it down.
Yeah, Ryan's ready position is, oh, I said 8-1-2. That must have been 10-1-2 because we're having a paddle tap now at the end of the game. So
That was a quick game.
Ryan and Holly, I believe, are still undefeated.
Yeah, that was a quick game too.
It was 11-1. Okay. So, do you have more details about the senior center, or who should we get in here to talk about the new senior center coming on?
Well, I don't have anyone here to talk about the new senior center. I don't know any other details of the ones I gave you. I know that it's going to have some
It's going
pickleball
to be
courts.
built out in the Walani area.
Right.
Right? Yeah, okay.
That's the only information I have. In terms of all the other specifics, I'm not sure.
Yeah, okay. Yeah. We have Bob Burton is the director of the Northside
Robbie
Community
and
Center,
Cynthia, Daniel and Judy, your next match is ready.
planning to
Court
come
number
in to
6.
talk about their breaking ground on 6 new
Yes,
outdoor
yes.
courts. Rumors have been going for 2 years about what the format will be there, whether there'll be out 6 covered and more uncovered courts. And the final details now we don't know for sure, but he did tell me this morning on the phone, that they're breaking ground. They've just broken ground now, so those courts are getting built.
Oh, well, good.
So that's good. And that's an area of town where we need courts. You mentioned earlier the Market District Park. There was an original plan to build 3 courts there. TPA board worked with Blueprint Intergovernmental Agency. They're very nice people there, very competent group. They were willing to kind of shift the park around a little bit, make room for 4 courts, and they've got them gated for individual court entry, so you don't have to walk across
always
courts.
nice.
Yeah, kind of like you see on most tennis venues, where you can walk directly from gate to court without crossing another court. And the spacing of the courts is nice, full 8-foot spacing all around.
Right.
So that's going to be a good venue, and in a part of town that needs courts right now.
Yeah. The other thing it does is that it takes the burden of one particular location. Because remember, a long time ago, the city only had the Tom Brown permanent courts, right?
Not even that long ago, 3 years.
Right. And then everyone was there.
Right.
Because everyone was actually inside, right? You had the senior center, Dade Street, Sue McCullum. So the community centers now, you have so many places to go. It's kind of, you're living a lot of stress.
Well, yeah, it's
to some degree. I mean, the more people that's come, obviously need more resources.
2 things at work.
So.
The growth has been, we've always talked about how pickleball is growing. The growth in the last 18 months has been explosive here in Tallahassee, and the big reason is schools are starting to introduce pickleball, so now young kids and families, you go out in the afternoons on the weekends.
Correct.
Courts are full. And FSU seems to have taken it up with a vengeance. There were 2 years ago, there were 2 student clubs that started. There are groups of students going around playing in collegiate Major League Pickleball events around the country now.
Yeah.
Miles Krasner.
Right, and that 2-hand, he does it. I don't know how he does it with that 2-hand, 2-hand.
He's a baseball player, and he's 2-hand, 4-hand, 2-hand backhand.
Yeah. I played against him, and I'm like, how do you do that, Mark?
High energy.
But he gets it done.
But each of those clubs now, one started through one of the church centers. I forget the name of it.
Is that the one on Tennessee Street? Tennessee and...
Well, it's on the campus.
Okay.
On FSU campus. But the women's assistant tennis coach, Mark Artizone, at FSU, tells me that the tennis courts are covered up with students playing pickleball all the time, and they don't even bother with tape. for chalk.
Right.
Because for one,
Right, the
school
NCAA
won't let them
no.
do that.
Well, the NCAA does not allow that.
Right,
It doesn't allow you to put lines other than they do play without the lines, or they could put a little tape on it, but they have to remove it as soon as it's finished.
They just play right using the service boxes.
Yeah.
It's,
And look, they have fun without the
now,
lines or the rules. So.
FSU did build some courts.
Yes, 4.
They built 4 courts.
4 courts.
Have you seen them?
I've not seen them.
myself
They're supposed to be, I think they were in works to build several more by the engineering building.
Yeah.
But I haven't heard anything more about that. But it's, look, with this, we stop reservations at 8:30. We have a 7:30, 8:30 reservation, whether it's
Right.
for Oaks Park or Tom Brown Park. And the FSU club team, right, they come in a vengeance at 8:30. They are literally waiting outside. We literally have to let the monitors stay out and say, look, this is what you have to do. Because on Mondays and Wednesdays, they look at Tom Brown. Tuesdays and Thursdays, come here.
And they just
Friday.
fill the courts up.
Fill-
And they play, what, to 11, midnight?
11
As long as you
p.m.
leave the lights on.
Yeah, as long as you leave the lights on. I had one guy tell me, the light's not on long enough. I'm like, well, you should be going home and get ready for tomorrow.
You need to go home and study. You can't play pickleball all the time.
Right. So yeah, it's fun, and here with the city, we know the demands of it, and the balance of making sure we have all the sports covered is obviously more of a challenge sometimes when you're dealing with so much more sport, keeping the equity going. It's one thing if you're just doing pickleball only, you just do that. But sometimes, trying to get the balance of all of them in the same time.
So the we haven't talked yet about Northeast Park. We'll talk about that in a minute. But what you mentioned about working in tennis and pickleball, where there's a main competition for resources, we've been talking about all over the country the conversion of tennis courts to pickleball courts, and the dual use of tennis courts now for pickleball as well as tennis. We have a meeting coming up with the new superintendent, Steve Leroy. What's his title?
Steve Leroy. He's the superintendent of tennis.
Tennis superintendent for City Parks, replacing Glenn Howe in that position.
Correct.
We have a meeting. He is setting up a meeting, first time in the city here, joint meeting of tennis and pickleball community people.
Correct.
To talk about how we can resolve at Winthrop Park. There's 6 courts, and we just need to get more people on those courts because there's people competing for the courts, and not always pleasantly.
Right.
Usually they're good sports, but sometimes there are arguments. Anyway, there are things we need to do to work that out. TPA has suggestions for how to modify the court layout with repainting some lines. I know that the tennis people don't like to see a lot of lines other than tennis lines on the courts, but there's a negotiation and a compromise that's needed because there's a lot of taxpayers playing pickleball and tennis.
And that's the thing, right?
We need to accommodate them all.
Right, and that's the thing. And me being in a unique position where I play tennis, so I understand their needs, and I play pickleball, I understand their needs, is pretty much just coming together as a group, trying the best to meet the needs. Obviously, pickleball players are going to be more for the pickleball and tennis going to be for tennis. But trying to find that balance in between that is almost like equally inconvenient to both of them. So if you could do that.
Well, and of course the bottom line answer always is to build more courts. Build more courts. Northeast Park is coming in 2025, Market District Park at the end of this year. Northeast Park is planning to build 4 courts because there was this big budget cut from $18 million to $12 million.
Okay.
And they're planning to build 4 courts. We understand the budget cut and the problem there, but we are encouraging the county commissioners, the intergovernmental agency governors, and Blueprint IA to build 4 courts. We're grateful to have them, but make room for 8 more courts because that part of town has so many players and it just needs more courts. And the current layout has pickleball, volleyball, and basketball all squeezed together. Lots of vacant room around. if they just put the pickleball on a larger plot of ground. Then we could add 8 pickleball courts later when money's available, and they'll all be adjacent in a contiguous space, and that's ideal. Then you can have your larger tournaments. You would have 12 courts instead of 6 to have your, when you're going to have 500 players in 2 years, literally 500 players for the senior games. It would be great to have 12 courts to put them on, and 12 is enough.
12 is plenty. 12 is plenty. You could do a lot of stuff with 12 courts. The more, like anything else, the more, the easier, right? It'd be nice, to, the one way we could really solve the problem is that if you have some, a partner that could bring 2.5 million, we don't have to worry about it at all.
Okay. Investors. So we'll talk. In fact, there is an investor in town, 2 now, Northside Community Center, and the Pickle Pad. We'll talk about Monroe. Before you leave, I'd like you to introduce the instructors that you have. We've had some changes. You've got some new instructors now. Would you just tell us, kind of list the instructors and a little bit about them?
Yeah, so the pickleball instructor we have Destin Perry. Destin is not just a pickleball instructor, he's also a tennis instructor. Young pickleball instructor, he's probably very energetic. Destin is in his late 20s. Then we have Ann Davis, who's a veteran. A veteran tennis player. This coach at FSU. She was on the national team for national board for tennis also, and after many years she's retired from them. And
USTA.
Yes, USTA, and now she's doing pickleball. Great.
And by the way, is playing in this tournament.
Is playing, and she will be here talking today. Also. So she'll come about 10:30, 11. So she's one of our instructors. Then we have 2 other new instructors. We had 2 outgoing instructors. That was Barbara Kearns and Tom Saxon. Lovely, did everything for us in terms of getting the with his clinics, with his private lessons,
instruction, clinics, round robins.
So for example, Tom, he got a new position.
Moved to Tampa.
He had to move to Tampa.
We lost Tom.
We lost Tom.
To Tampa.
We lost. We lost Tom to Tampa, and Barbara needs some time to do some other stuff, so we lost her in the process.
Barbara, we might mention, Barbara came in yesterday when the rain delay backed you up and all, and Barbara came in and pitched in.
She pitched in, yes.
She knows how to run a tournament.
Yes.
She's been running, when I first started playing pickleball, Barbara was running a tournament at, here you go, Randy. Barbara was playing, thank you.
Gold medal, 50-54.
Gold medal match, okay. Barbara was running a tournament at McClay, just on her own, and it was great, really good. And she now runs them regularly.
She does
a couple times a year.
Yes, and she doesn't only just run her. She goes all over the place doing it. Whether it's in Georgia, she travels quite a bit, and she competes at the same time. So she does both.
She's a teacher at McClay School, I think, in kindergarten.
Yes.
And Barbara, is Barbara also playing in this tournament?
Barbara? Yeah, she's playing tournament. She'll be in the she's in the
60-64.
Yep. No. Barbara I think is the 50-54.
Oh, really? I haven't seen her play today.
Yeah.
So your other instructors.
Right. So we have two other instructors that will be coming on. They're not fully with the city yet.
Okay.
So we're planning Bill Newman. He's
playing here in the tournament.
He's playing the tournament. Also, he's a great teacher. I've seen him teach many times. We like his style. So we're gonna work with Dale, and he's gonna be instructor once he gets on.
Yes.
And there's Hector. That's one of the instructors we're trying to get on. He is in the process of.
Is he from tennis background?
He's also from tennis background, but he's also playing pickleball. So.
What's Hector's last name?
That's a good question. I wish you didn't ask me that one.
Sorry. This is unscripted, folks.
Okay. I like it.
Okay.
I don't remember Hector's last name.
So these guys, you're getting them, you're training them up. And
yes. So a matter of fact, we have a train on the 13th of this month. So what I do every 2 months or so. You.
So we're getting ready to start a gold medal match here. Every year this happens. We're getting ready to begin a gold medal match here on court 1. Ryan Burke and Holly Snyder,
Yes.
who I believe are undefeated, playing against Roxana Patterson and Charles Robshaw.
That is going to be a good
really
match.
good
That's going to be a
players.
good match right there.
These people can hit the ball hard, but they also have a soft game when they choose to use it. Let's see how
The
that
question
goes.
is, who's going to have more tools in their tool bag in this one?
Who's going to bring the tools out of their tool bag? They've got all the tools, all of these players. Charles has a two-handed backhand that most men develop to a level that most men players don't have. And he hits a two-handed overhand backhand. I saw him just destroy the ball with in the singles matches on Tuesday.
Brandy, your next match is ready.
They are warming up a little bit now, and this match will get started here in just a few minutes.
And if you notice, the warm-up is a little different from those of you who probably go from tennis to pickleball. You warm up with your partner.
Right.
In this sport. In tennis, you warm up your opponent.
Well, it's because you're thinking of singles.
Well, in doubles, you warm up with your opponent.
Even in doubles,
Yes, warm up your opponent.
you warm up on your team's side with your
Correct.
opponent.
Because the notion is that if I want my opponent, I can see what the falls are. I hit the ball to your backhand,
Right.
see how that is. Your forehand, see how that is. In this sport, you don't get to explore that.
Right.
Buchanan and Janet,
So that's a big, unique difference right there.
Also, in tournament play, you'll see that teams will warm up a bit more than recreational play. In rec play, you go out, people are waiting to get on the court behind you. So you go out, hit 3 or 4 dink shots, maybe a practice serve or 2. Okay, let's play.
That's right.
And in the tournament, you want to be warmed up because you're going to be pressed. And you want to be able to handle the pressure right from the beginning of a game. You don't want to get in the game and get down 2 or 3 points because your muscles haven't had a chance to warm up a little bit.
Especially with 11 points. And some of these brackets are so big. And round robin, we have a 16-team bracket. You know.
Which one is that?
That is the 60-64.
Wow.
A 16-team bracket. When it's so big, I was split in 8 and 8. So that means you could play, in theory, a maximum 8 matches. You know, we have to play over and over. Some players have never played that many times.
Did you split that into pools?
Yes.
Okay,
So what
that's
happens
you're
when they're that big? Even we have a bracket of 15.
Right.
Yesterday we split it up, and you'll play a round robin in that one pool, and the top player in that pool plays against the top player in the bottom pool for
the gold
and silver, gold and silver.
and silver.
And then the second 2 will play for bronze.
The bronze medal.
Yeah, they love it. You know, the thing is we try to maximize the amount of games they get.
The round robin within a pool, the way it works is each team will play every other team. So if you have a pool of 8 teams, then each team will play 7 games, 1 game against each of the other teams in the pool. In some tournaments, you come out of a pool like that, and then the top 4 teams will play 1v2, first place, second place, first, and across the pools as a semifinals. And then the winners play the gold. And that way, in case you've got unevenly matched brackets, all the strong teams in one side, you get a chance to level out the chances for the gold medal.
And there's all kinds of different ways you can do
But
it.
when it's so big,
with limited
can't always
courts
do
and a time frame.
because you only have 6 courts,
Right.
you need to do this on 12 courts
Right.
in Northeast Park in 2 years.
Well, not only is it small, it's just so many people.
Right. That's
And
what I
the
mean.
time frames in one day.
I think when I first came into this tournament, you had maybe 150 people 3 years ago.
Yeah, because last year we had 166.
Yeah.
So
And now double that, 302 players this year. Next year, 400 players.
yeah, and
You're gonna need a bigger venue.
And next year, bigger venue, and everybody else to help.
Yeah, and more volunteers. Each year, we're going to have to add more volunteers. But
Yeah, 100 this year.
we're up for that.
Great.
Okay, so Ryan and Holly have finished their warm-up and they're strategizing now. Be interested to hear what they're saying.
Yeah. You know, one thing you'll notice at this level, whether it's no matter what age group, you will see them not do one. There's one strategy that almost none of them will tend to use most of the time is the stacking.
The stacking, yeah.
That could get confusing if you don't know what you're doing.
Right. Holly plays with a left-handed partner in women's doubles, and Mrs. Smith, and they do stack because they're left-handed. But these two teams, I think, won't stack.
No,
See,
they won't.
Holly and Ryan have not been stacking at all.
No, they've been doing straight up.
Okay, our next guest is ready here. This is the current Tallahassee Pickleball Association President, Rodney Howard.
All right, well, I will see you later, sir.
All right, thanks. Thanks, Lennon, and maybe we'll talk again some more later.
Okay.
Okay, so let's welcome Rodney Howard. We'll do some game play-by-play here. Here you go, Rod.
Hey, Fred.
Rod is the current president of the Tallahassee Pickleball Association. I'm the past president, and Rod took over the board last May. His vice president, Kathy Bedsole, may be in with us a little bit later.
I hope so.
So let's do a little bit of play-by-play here. I don't know what the score is. We've had a few points. Oh my God. Ryan puts one long off the fence.
We might be leaving relatively soon to start playing.
Oh, okay. Rod and I are partners in men's doubles, and I had a momentary cognitive dissonance there because I'm thinking, well, if you're going to go play, then I have to go too. But this is mixed doubles today, and he has a different partner. So anyway, so Roxana Patterson is serving. Ryan receiving. Short return. Good third shot. They're working their way up to the net. Now we're going to do a little bit of a dink rally here. And Ryan and Holly came away with that one. Second server now.
Your next match is ready.
Charles is serving. I can't hear the score. Second serve. Another short return. And Ryan misses wide with that one.
Are we out of it now?
No.
You don't want us to? Should we go that way?
Okay, Charles is serving again from the odd court here.
It's too good to be true that they would use flat row seats available.
Nice deep serve. Roxana takes third shot drive. Holly gets unlucky on the net with her attack on the fourth ball. How are we doing? Is this going okay? I can't tell.
Great.
Okay. I can't see myself here, so we're just talking and seeing what happened. Somebody's sliding the table closer, maybe to get the mic. Charles makes another good low hard serve drive. Ooh, third shot drop is a little short. The wind is against Charles and Roxana right now.
Yes, it is. And that's a big factor.
It's a huge factor on third shot drops. Okay, Holly's serve, third shot drive from Ryan. Fifth shot dropped. I love Charles's overhead. He's a tennis player, and when he gets up on an overhead, it's a powerful shot. And when he gets that backhand on overhead, we'll see a two-handed return. Ryan serves wide. Side out, serve comes to Charles. Still can't hear the score. Nice serve, good return. Roxana dumps her drive into the net on the third shot.
Let's see if I can hear it this time.
I know. I had to watch it die.
Yeah. Yeah, it's going to warm up.
We're all trying to hear the serve. Can't hear it.
Can't hear. There's too big of a crowd here today, making noise. Everybody's excited about being here.
3-0. Our producer here just told us the score's 3-0. Okay. Okay, so serving 0-3. Holly is serving 0-3 to Charles. Charles gets a decent return. Third shot drive. Fifth shot drive. That would have been an out ball, but Roxana couldn't get away from it. So now we have score, I think, of 1-3, and Holly and Ryan are stacking. Okay, nice exchange there. Roxana sped it up and got away with it. Holly just couldn't get it over the net. 1-3, 2. Charles handled Ryan's third shot drive very well with a reset, and Ryan put it in the net for him. Charles is serving 3-1. First serve, 3-1-1. Good deep serve, decent return deep. Ryan gets hold of an overhead. Fifth shot was popped up and Ryan put it away. Roxana serving 3-1-2. You can see Charles and Roxana trying to work up, hitting drop shots, trying to work their way up to the net. Ryan was keeping them back with shots back to their feet, which is a pattern of play that you're on. So Ryan serving 1-3-1. Deep return from Charles. That was a sharp exchange that Ryan came out on top of. Roxana saying, I don't know. Ryan serving 2-3-1. Deep. Okay, Roxana's return is out wide. 3-3-1. You can see Ryan and Holly stacking. What that means is they're keeping, time is called. Giving to a minute to explain stacking. Ryan and Holly, you can see them now both in the even court. Ryan is serving. And then he's going to move over and cover the odd court. That keeps him on the odd court side, on the left side of the court from their perspective, so that his right hand, strong forehand, is in the middle. A lot of times, right-handed, left-handed partners will stack, but in mixed doubles, a lot of times, mixed doubles will stack to keep the stronger player, normally the male, bigger and stronger forehand on the odd court side, so that the right-hand forehand is in the middle. Roxana and Charles, on the other hand, are not stacking. They just, when the score changes and they're serving, they just switch courts. So they'll both be playing at one time or another on the even side or the odd side of the court.
And they called a timeout at this point because Roxanne called the timeout because the other team was starting to score points. So the timeout is to regroup with your partner, be able to refresh your strategy you're going to be using again, and also to stop the momentum of the other team. A timeout always helps that.
Ryan and Holly had run off 3 quick points, had the momentum. Let's see if this timeout works. It often does. In pro games that you watch, you'll often see that the timeout helped the team. They'll win the next rally, be it a point or just a side out. 3-3-1. Ryan serving. Good return from Charles. You saw Charles take some power off of that overhead because the wind probably had slowed the ball down, and he had to adjust his backhand and take power off. Ryan nets one for us. You can see that Ryan is hitting a third shot drive on almost every point instead of a drop shot. This is a nice dink exchange. Started with Holly's very nice drop shot. This is a great rally. This is like a 12, 15 shot rally at this point.
Yes.
Ryan puts it out. You don't see, in recreational play, you seldom see rallies that long. Serving 3-4-1, I think. Oops. 3-4-2. Holly got a good strong overhead that Charles couldn't handle. I think we had a pop-up from Roxana to Holly. Roxana's the second server, 3-4-2. Short return from Ryan. Roxana just, instead of driving, sometimes on a short return, the third shot would be a drive, but that's nice to drop it and take control of the net as well, which they did that time. Drop shot from Charles. Nice dink. Dink from Roxana. Playing along the line. Ryan sped it up, forced a pop-up from Roxana, and Raleigh just ate that one alive.
And that was another great encounter at the net.
Yep. Good deep return from Roxana. Oh, just out. Charles made a good shot there, but it's just wide.
Whatever you need is your.
Like 6'1", 6.
Great hand speed on both sides.
Another great exchange.
Okay, so it's 6-3 or 6-4 now. I'm not sure what Charles and Roxana have. We know it's 6 though because they're changing sides. So Ryan and Holly are up with 6 points. We'll find out here. 6-4. 6-4-1 will be the score. Ryan takes off with the ball tube that was keeping the passers-by from going through. So I don't know what that's about. Okay. So this is an exciting match.
This is a very good match.
There's no way to predict who's going to win. I would say that Ryan and Holly have the momentum right now.
They do. We'll see if this change of courts change that up, because they'll now be hitting into the wind.
Right.
And the wind will be behind Charles and Roxana.
Right. And that will increase their power. If you can keep the ball, when the wind's behind you, if you can keep top spin on and keep the ball down, you get additional power on your shots. You see Ryan set up for the serve return, always an antic. Okay, there was some exciting play. There was a great dink down the line deep that put Charles under real pressure, but he hustled and got it back. But then Holly was able to put the next shot away. Good deep return. So this may be a case where you're right about the wind. Ryan's third shot drive there didn't have the steam that it had coming in the first 6 points, and the wind can be the difference. Roxana had no trouble handling that shot. The deep return.
Is he the one with the bucket bag? The one with the bucket, the FSU bag. He's the one who you off.
Roxana's overhead and Ryan's quick hands caught Charles by surprise on that one. Ryan serves 8-4-2. Good deep return. If you see Roxana and Charles, an overhead from Charles, if you see them play, when they go up for an overhead, they're tennis players. You can tell. They both have the same style, and it's like Yvonne Lindell over there. Drop shot, soft dink from Ryan. Holly can't handle the return from Charles, and it's in the net. Okay, this is, I think, 41. Oh, this is a great get from Charles, and another great get from Charles. And third.
5-8-1.
5-8-1.
Now it's 5-8-2.
5-8-2. Thank
Charles
you.
serving.
We just got a correction on the score. 5-8-2.
We don't have the best view here. We've got a bar across the fence in front of us. It's kind of blocking our view somewhat.
5-8-2. Charles just called the score. Serving from the even box. Good return deep. Third shot drop from Roxanne. A little bit of a pop up. Can't tell if that was out or not. 6-8-2. Okay. The shot was out. Roxana got away with a pop up there that Holly hit out wide. Third shot drive from Charles. We haven't seen a lot of those. Charles and Roxana have mostly been dropping their third shots, but that was a good third shot drive. 8-5-1 serve was wide. 8-5-2 now from Ryan. 8-6. I'm sorry. 8-6-2 right here. Sharp exchange. Ryan wins it with an overhead. 9-6-1.
Now it's pressure time for both teams.
Second serve, 9-6-2. And Ryan serves wide. 6-9-1, Roxana serving. Roxana drives the third, Ryan handles it. Ninth shot lob. And I think it was out. So now it's 7-9-1.
You might notice that Roxana's using two hands a lot for a backhand and for a dink also.
Right.
That's coming low. So that's a shot becoming in vogue nowadays in pickleball.
I think Annalie Waters has had a great influence on people's style play. There's a great soft dink. They were holding them back with drives, and then Ryan dinked one, and that's so hard to get up to the net to get. Riley Newman gets those. Not all of us older folks do. Third drop shot from Roxana. Dink rally. Pop up from Holly. Charles was ready for it. Had his forehand right on cue for that one. Okay. So it's 8-9-2. We're getting some help with the score from our runners here, volunteers from TPA. This is a great match. Well, these are well-matched teams. Okay, so now we have 9-8-1. Ryan is serving. They're stacking. Holly and Ryan are stacking. 9-8-1. So Ryan's, I don't know if it's third shot or fifth shot because I looked away, but it was a bit long. He almost hit the fence with the wind against him.
I knew that.
Holly serves 9-8-2. Charles' return is nice and deep. Third shot drive. So Ryan's hands were really excellent in that point. He got two nice resets, and then the third one came as a pop-up, and he just crushed it. 10-8-2. This is game point. Ryan caught him by surprise with the lob. Great defense on the far side. And Ryan breaks Holly's paddle with a paddle tap. Oh, it was out. Okay. Ryan is sure that that ball was in, but it's not his call. The other team calls it.
Let's go to the booth.
Call is out!
Call is out. Yeah, no spectators can help.
Charles called it out. That was the call.
That was the call. This is Ryan's style. He will. So it's 8-10-1. Nice third shot drop, a little bit high. This is great rally. 9-10-1. 9-10-1. Yeah. 9-10-1. Roxana serving to Ryan. We had some great dink rally. Oh wow, what hands from Roxana. Okay, 9-10-2, Charles is serving. That was a great overhead to put that point away. 9-10-2, second serve. Third shot, half-speed drive. Nice drop. Ryan's dinks have been excellent. What a point.
Yes.
I am so impressed with the overhead drives that are being defended at the net by both teams. Their hands are phenomenal. Ryan's third shot drive against the wind almost hits the fence.
Deep breath, deep breath.
The cameraman over in the corner picked the ball up there.
A little help from the cameraman. Ryan is
WCOT
serving
helping
now.
out.
10-9-2, game point. Return from Roxana. She handles Ryan's drive and that's the game. That was a great game. A lot of applause from the crowd. So we have Ryan and Holly with the gold medal in the 50-54 mixed doubles age group. Charles Robshaw and Roxana Patterson with the silver medal in the 50-54 mixed doubles age group. A great gold medal match here. Let's find out if we have a bronze medal match coming up, or do they play at the same time?
But you wait until your guest.
Yeah, so I think I moved my chair and knocked over. We got a little ball pickup tube as pedestrian barrier here. So Rod is coming to the end of his tenure now as the president. We've tried to talk him into staying on for a second year, and he's thinking about it, I think, still.
I can't say on air.
Yeah. What we're doing, we've just put out an email message to all of the Tallahassee Pickleball Association members and Facebook posting asking for volunteers for next year's board. So we started this with a 7-member board. We've had a few people change over the years. Rod's been on the board for a couple of years now. 3 years. 3 years he's been on the board and took up being president the last year. This year we're going to transition and bring at least 3 and maybe another 4 people onto the board, new people. But we also are going to keep at least 3 people on the board so we have a nice smooth transition. Anything to say about your experience as the president?
Well, I've had to come out of my shell. I've always been the type of person on the board to sit and listen and to vote and give my opinion when needed, but I always let somebody else take the ball and run. But I've had to learn to do more texting, GroupMe, Zoom, and I've got to pay attention to my emails more.
Yeah, there's a lot of communication involved in running a board, an association of 350 plus members, and you know, a lot of interaction among the board members, and it's more than just the board. We've also got Melissa Powell manages our website. Judy Howes is a newsletter manager. She does the formatting and editing for our newsletters. Some of it closer for our newsletters that go out to the members on a regular basis. We have Joanne Cox, who is not only a board member but also the chair of our communications committee, which handles a lot of liaison with the Blueprint Intergovernmental Agency, the city and county parks and recreation. And in each of those, and then there's an event committee that Kathy Bedsole and Ebo Barefoot, both also board members, manage, and it runs round robins and various events. Then there's the PB&J Pickleball Tournament, which is a private, separate operation, but which is a partner with the Tallahassee Pickleball Association, and they very generously donate after each of their tournaments. TPA people volunteer at the tournaments and participate in the tournaments, but that PB&J organization generously donates to the general fund of TPA after every tournament, and that's enabled us to do things like purchase the water fountain.
Yes.
Right? Tell us a little bit about the water fountain.
TPA has donated $4,000 toward the cost of a water bottle fountain and bottle filler at Tom Brown Park at the pickleball courts, because we haven't had water there for the 3.5 years.
That we've had
3.5 years since the courts have been there, and of course it gets Tallahassee. It gets so hot in August, July, and September. And it's going to be an asset, even though it's not going to be a chilled water filler bottle facility. It's going to be water, and that's going to be good not only for the pickleball players there, but the disc golf players that come through there and they stop and be able to get water there.
Right. Yeah, that's going to be a great addition. They're going to install it, we believe, right under or right at the edge, perhaps, of the new shade structure that the city just built at Tom Brown Park, 3 months ago it was installed this summer, in time to help us with, no, it was after the summer heat was over.
Right, it was like about November.
About November. So we needed it for the summer heat, but the manufacturer was slow getting the materials put together, and but now we have it this coming summer. You'll be able to play more into the afternoon, I believe, because you can play a game on the court, it's hot, and sit in the shade for a while and recover. So that will increase the court usage during the summertime, I think, for outdoor play. We're also working with the Leon County Parks and Recreation to add a similar shade structure like we have here at 4 Oaks. At the Chairs Park courts. Okay. Our Randy Yarbrough.
They just called me.
Rod's going to play a match now.
My partner's going to be upset with me because I should be warming up.
Okay, we'll take a few minutes to warm up.
Okay.
Okay.
Keep conversation down. Feeding back to production.
Okay, so
keep the conversation down to a low.
We've lost Rod. We'll get somebody else in here to support the...
Just a general conversation.
So Court 1, we've got a new match coming up, and this will be a good match. It's Robbie Matheny, I believe is his name, Cynthia Sticks, are playing against Sue Matthew and Bill McHugh. This, just like the last match which we watched, that was a 4-0 level match. This, I believe, will be a 4-0 level match as well. 55-59, all strong players, and we should see some excitement here. Okay, so I'm getting a little parched.
Ready for somebody?
Yeah.
Yes, we're ready for somebody.
Is going for the medal then?
Pardon?
Is going for the medal?
I believe this is not a medal round match. Will you find out for me? They didn't. My note doesn't say it's medal round. I think this is probably pool play or a round robin match. We're having the warm up right now. On the left, we have probably far side from the camera. You got plan overhead or plan view. Got in the blue shirt, white hat, that's Bill McHugh. The pink shirt and black hat is Sue Matthew. On the far side, Robin Matheny in the white shirt, and Cynthia Sticks in the blue shirt with a blue headband. Get a few minutes of warm up here. This is not a gold medal match, right? Just a round play. Okay. It'll be interesting to see how the teams come out to the gold medal match in this age group, because this is a very strong age group. Okay, they're practicing serves now. Generally, the last thing you do in a warm-up, Bill puts a return over the fence. Generally, the end of the warm-up, each team will practice a couple of serves and returns. And in Robbie's case, a third shot there. So what you see in this level of play, you're going to see serve deep, return deep, and then a third shot may be a short drop in trying to get it into the kitchen so the serving team can get up to the net. Or maybe a third shot drive trying to elicit a pop-up from the other team that they can then put away. If the third shot drop goes in, then we'll often at this level of play see a dink rally, and we saw several of those in the last game, where there are short drops, dink shots back and forth across into the kitchen, and dinking long cross court, trying to put pressure, dinking down the middle, trying to get to the opponent's feet and put pressure on them. And during those dink rallies, you'll see a sharp speed up sometimes. Speed up is trying to get a pop up out of the other team. Pop up is a ball that floats up high so that your team can put it away. Okay. I think I have Ann Davis fixing to join me here and support the play-by-play. Yeah.
Okay.
Hello, Ann.
Hi, Fred.
So this is Ann Davis joining me here at Court 1. She is former FSU tennis coach.
Ooh, way back, yeah.
Way back. Currently an instructor with the city of Tallahassee.
Yes.
Runs round robins and clinics and other events, and gives private instruction.
Yes.
To individuals and groups, and also a TPA member and a member of the communications committee, I believe.
Yes, I am.
With Joanne
Yes.
Potts. Yeah.
Yeah, you could say I'm all in on pickleball now.
All in on pickleball.
Yeah.
Ann doesn't play much tennis anymore these days.
No,
She's
no,
one
still
of the-
support it and love watching it, but pickleball is my jam now.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, we've got
there's
some great matches today, and the weather
wonderful.
doesn't get any better.
Okay, so we've got 0-0-1 serving. Sue serving 1-0-1.
And this is the gold for which division?
This is a round pool play for 55-59. Bill McHugh and Sue Matthew on the far end. Sue serving
1-1-1.
1-1-1.
So they're still in pool play. They haven't gotten
Yeah.
to the medal round yet.
Okay, Robbie puts that one out. So it's going to be 2-1-1, Sue serving. You can see that Bill and Sue are stacking. I don't think Robbie and Cynthia are stacking.
And I know that Sue and Bill are from Tallahassee. Where are their opponents from Tallahassee as well?
Don't know.
Okay.
3-1-1. Randy? Yeah.
Susan Chase and Paul Donovan.
We'll find out here in a bit if they're also. We do have a lot of people that are near Tallahassee, but you know, an hour drive, 2-hour drive, some are playing.
Right, to get to play this level of competition.
Right.
Yeah.
There's a gentleman that comes over. Ben Rodriguez comes over from St. Augustine every year just to play singles. I played with him 2 years ago, but this year I saw him play.
And it's interesting for people who are watching to see the stacking that Bill and Sue are doing. You probably talked about that. And
I did. Ryan and Holly were stacking in the last match. Oh, was that a good shot? If that was in, that was a great shot.
yes.
Inside out, underhand heavy topspin, and just
And I think he did it on purpose too.
did. At this level,
So-
it wasn't even an accident.
Right.
And Bill whiffed on it because it was a great shot. Cynthia serves soft and deep. Good return. 1-4-2. They call that out? I can't tell.
Yes, they called it in.
Yeah.
Yep. With a little assist from Sue telling her
Yeah, we don't do that normally, but
it gets
good third shot
competitive.
drive. Bill handled it. Great drop shot, but it was out.
Tried that inside out again, and
Yeah.
this time it didn't make
a
it.
little bit much. Dinked wide. Sue serves. 4-1-2-1, I think. Oh, there's a net. Tough break on the net. Robbie can't handle it.
And Sue has not been playing pickleball that long, just a couple of years.
About 2 years.
Yeah.
And she's really come along. She was
is.
early on. She was when she, at this point in. That's a great shot and a great get by Sue. Oops, Bill nets it.
Bill was in. He was in perfect position to try for that poach, which you're going to see a lot of, especially in mixed doubles,
Right.
with the male player.
Okay. 5-1. They're stacking. Bill serving 5-1-2, I think. And Robbie can't handle the third shot drive. It's in the net. You mentioned Sue so now it's 6-1-2. When they're changing sides at 6 for the wind and the sun. So 6-1-2, right? You mentioned Sue coming from tennis 2 years ago. I think her first experience with pickleball was the senior games 2 years ago.
Okay.
And she was all over the court, crazy athletic,
I remember.
and banging the ball, and her team did very well. That was playing tennis on the pickleball court.
Yes.
And now she's playing pickleball.
She has
She's got
improved so much.
She's got the full game.
Yes, you'll watch her coming in a lot more, not just hanging back, which doesn't
Set
work.
the net, dinking 7-1-2. Bill McHugh, who just served a nice lob serve deep, third shot drive, handled by Cynthia.
Interesting how they sometimes will change up the types of serves they hit, not only to a certain
8-1-2.
shot or the forehand or backhand, but the depth and the speed that they put on. And
can
Bill
also-
is very good at that.
Bill has 5 or 6 serves he does differently. There's
Yes.
a low soft serve that time, a little bit of outside swirl.
And I would suggest for folks watching, once you're consistent getting it in and you can get it deep, then you can start doing some
Mixing up.
practice on where you want
Hit heavy power and backing off the power. Yeah.
hitting to the forehand, hitting to the backhand, maybe
Right.
putting some spin on. You see
There's a
Bill
soft
just did
backhand serve from Bill.
that. You don't see those backhand serves very often.
Right. Great dink from Cynthia.
Oh,
Handled
nice.
by Sue. Popped up. And then 10-1-2. Thanks.
Nice coverage by Bill looking
Yeah.
for the middle, making that move to
Pick off the pop up.
yes.
Yeah. We've seen some great in this age group, 55, 59, and 50, 54. We've seen some great soft game.
The soft game is going to set up the opportunities to do something at the net, something that might pop up.
Yep. Serve from Cynthia, 110, I think, 110-1. Good return from Sue.
There's Bill. Oh, nice get. Good
Third shot
defense.
was high. Robbie made a great play on that.
Great.
You
Great
see the
overhead.
tennis players go up for their overhead. It's kind of an iconic pattern.
They do.
Bill's,
And they-
Charles's.
Yes, and they've got the movement down where they move sideways back for the ball.
110-2.
110-2. Bill's overheads are crushers.
Good teamwork by Sue and Bill.
10-1-1. Bill and Sue have had it all their way in this match, but they've just really controlled the net.
Yes, absolutely.
Good deep return from Cynthia.
And good communication with Sue and Bill. Bill calling her off that middle ball so he could take that forehand.
One thing you see, I think Cynthia and Robbie may not have played together a lot. You see them leaving a lot of space in the middle
Yes.
that Sue and Bill are taking advantage of. Right there, for example. Bill's third shot drive was 80%. Low, dipped
Yep.
right into the kitchen.
That low ball, and if you're not stopped and set so that you can effectively take that third shot, it's going to
yeah.
pop up just like you saw there.
Pop up or go in the net.
Yeah.
Yep. Right. Well, that was a good match.
That was good.
And we will. I'm thinking probably see Bill and Sue again, maybe in a gold medal match.
That would
or
be
at
my
least a
guess.
bronze medal match here on this court.
Yes, that would be
This,
my
I
guess.
think this is a big bracket. The 55-59 may have. One of these brackets has 16 teams in it.
I know later this afternoon I'm playing in the 65 to 70, and I think we have 15 in that group. So a lot of
You
big
and I will
groups.
see each other.
That's
maybe
right,
in that
that's right.
because I'm playing in that bracket as well, 65 to 69.
I think we're in separate brackets, so that's
Separate
good.
pools, yeah.
So we'll have to do that in the medal round.
Yeah, I haven't looked at the pools yet. Let's see here. 10:47. I think I'm due to get off shift here in about 13 minutes to go home and get some lunch before we play. Were you going to stay on for a while?
Yes, I'm going to stay on and take your
So,
position.
tell me about instructing for City of Tallahassee. About how much a time a week do you put into that?
It depends. Depends on the time of the year when we have clinics. There are more hours. And we do it if folks want a private lesson, then we just schedule it as we can. This is my journey with the City of Tallahassee. I started when I first moved to Tallahassee. There was a time where I taught for the City of Tallahassee tennis.
Tennis instructor.
Yes.
Yeah.
And then so I've come full circle back, and I'm such a big believer in Parks and Rec. And it's such a wonderful opportunity, and TPRD does a great job with it of allowing people in all sports to get started inexpensively.
Right.
So we actually have a new round of clinics coming up, start March 20th.
Okay.
We've got morning classes and we've got evening classes.
You can find those, by the way, at talgov.com.
Yes, and then
TALGOV.
and then look for pickleball.
And look for pickleball. There's
Yes.
a selection box. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
the
you mentioned
clinics are such a wonderful way. It's a 4 week, so you don't have to commit that much time, but you learn everything you need to learn, and we get you playing, and that's
Right.
what's so wonderful about pickleball. It's let's play the game. That's how
Right.
you get better.
Yeah, and pickleball is an accessible sport. Within a week, you can be out playing with a group at your level and having fun.
Absolutely.
You don't need to spend a year learning ground strokes and overheads and all that like you do in tennis.
No, and it's interesting. The demand for private lessons isn't as great as maybe it was when I was involved with tennis, because pickleball players want to play, and
Right.
that really is how you get better, is by playing, and then come and do some fine tuning.
I thought I recognized that
Okay,
voice.
thanks.
Diane.
So you mentioned the city Parks and Rec, your support for them and all. I think you told me once that when you were a college tennis player yourself. Where did you play, by the way?
I played at the University of South Florida in Tampa.
Okay, yeah. But I think you told me that rather than being, coming up through country clubs and playing that way, you were a Parks and Rec type player.
I was a Parks and Rec
You developed
kid.
your game on city parks.
We had tennis courts right across the street from our house, so if that hadn't have happened, I may not have played tennis, started in tennis.
It was it city instructors and that kind of same deal?
Yep.
Clinics?
And we
Yeah,
just got
that's
out
great.
and played.
It's kind of the Arthur Ashe story.
Yes. One of the greatest. The epitome of that.
Put you up there.
Yeah, I don't
Bring
know
you and
about
Arthur
that,
Ashe into the conversation together.
Yeah.
So we don't have our next match listed yet. So I was hoping to have heard from him by now. Bob Burton may come while you're here.
Okay.
He's not going to be able to make it today, but could make it tomorrow if that works. But unfortunately, the senior games are over tomorrow.
Need to get Kathy Bedsole in there.
Yeah.
Recreate our.
I'll just tell you why he was coming. Northside Community Center, because I've got the story and I talked to Bob this morning. Northside Community Center, we've been having rumors for about 3 years that they were going to build courts. It's up in that part of town where we need courts. Well, I heard from him this morning that they have broken ground on 6 outdoor courts.
That's huge.
The rumors have been that the courts are going to be covered. There were going to be 14 courts, all kinds of rumors. Now I know they're breaking ground on 6 courts. And I don't know, have more details about when they're going to be completed, but I'm going to find out more details, and we'll be publicizing that in the Tallahassee Pickleball Association newsletter, on our website, and on our Facebook group, which is the Tallahassee Pickleball Association Facebook group. Now we have, I think, almost 2,000 members, maybe more than 2,000 followers on that group. It's grown a lot just in the 2 years that we've had it.
Well, it is the #1 way to get information about pickleball in Tallahassee.
It really is, yeah.
But that's exciting news about Northside.
Yeah, it really is, and I'm looking forward to getting more information and publicizing it. The other Facebook group in this area that's important to follow is the Big Bend Pickleball, group run by Barb Camps on Facebook. Also has a large number of members. We post for the surrounding area, Mariana, Port St. Joe, Thomasville, Moultrie. They all have pickleball associations and Facebook groups, and they run tournaments in those places. And we publicize all of that so that the pickleball community knows where they can go to play.
Yes, and for anyone who hasn't joined either of those groups or don't get your information there, that's the way to get the information, as I mentioned before. And with TPA support, they run some of the best. They run round robins for beginner through low intermediate. They run some of the best tournaments in town, round robins.
The PB and Yay tournament.
Yes,
yeah.
Those
run
are
by I haven't mentioned names before. Abdel Gonzalez and Kathy Bedsole.
They do such a fantastic job.
That tournament runs about every 2 months. The next one, I think, is going to be on April 20th.
April 20th, yeah. And you don't have to have a partner. It's a mixed round robin, which are lots of fun.
A lot of fun. You play with new people.
Yes.
Some of my favorite pickleball players I've met in those mixed,
absolutely,
no partner round robin
and you will
tournaments.
get your money's worth in those tournaments.
You can sometimes get more pickleball than you have energy to play.
Yes, for sure.
Okay, Ann, well, I think I'm going to skip
thanks,
out
Fred,
and leave you with it.
I'll see you later.
Yes, see you later.
Hopefully.
Ann and I will be playing later, perhaps, if we get to the medal round.
Yes.
Okay, thanks, Ann.
So in the meantime, we are waiting for our next match here on Court 1. And Fred may try and find somebody to come sit in the second chair with me.
Yeah, I will.
So I'm going to move chairs.
Got my keys.
There we go.
Ann is on first.
So that went okay?
Yes, I'm on. I've moved to the first chair.
That's for sure.
Thanks, Fred. Fred is.
Oh, would you hand me my water bottle down to the left?
Fred is a real mover and shaker in Tallahassee pickleball. He was the driving force in getting the Tallahassee Pickleball Association started, and really helped with the growth of that association and advocating for pickleball throughout the city and throughout Leon County. So we've talked a lot about the TPRD, Tallahassee Parks and Rec. Big shout out to Leon County and what they're doing. The chairs courts are where the PB and Yay tournaments are held. They're doing a wonderful job. They've got painted lines on the court, so it's a wonderful place to play. So it looks like we got our next match coming up on Court 1. Still waiting to see who that is going to be. We know the quality of those matches have been outstanding.
We played singles the other day.
Gainesville.
Gainesville.
Gators.
So today is just an amazing day. Yesterday, as we were playing, the wind really played some tricks on the play, on the ball. As you were hitting, you had to really adjust. The wind was coming forward and across. Today, the players, there's very little wind, so it's just perfect conditions right now. A little cooler, no wind. To get going. So we'll see our next mixed doubles match coming up. And as you're watching the mixed doubles strategy might be a little bit different than when you're playing gender doubles. Typically, you're going to see the male player doing a lot in the middle, trying to, looks like maybe they're hogging the ball, but that's a setup situation for the players. So waiting for the official, the players are coming out. I know it's Dennis and Pauline. Get the last names for you. And Barbara out on the court. So right now they're doing the who's going to serve. Many different ways you can do it. The way we do it here is they call a number between 1 and 2. The person who gets the number has the choice of serving, returning, or picking side. So they're looking to see the sun's going to be a factor, even though they'll switch at 6 points. So we got Barbara Carnes and Jeff Schrofer are playing Dennis Golub and Pauline Anderson. So they're going to take a little bit of a warm-up. Looks like, we got Lennon, who's with Tallahassee Parks and Rec. He is the pickleball master. Quite amazing player, wonderful teacher. I've learned a lot from Lennon as I've been teaching for the city. So we've got Dennis and Pauline nearest to us, and Barbara and Jeff on the far side. Looks like Dennis is going to start the serving, and they'll play a game to 11, win by 1. This is still pool play. Change of plan, they're actually going to warm up. So if players want, there is a 5-minute warm-up period. Looks like they're just waiting to maybe for an official, as this doesn't look like the serious type of warm-up that typically this caliber of player would do. Lots of times in the warm-up you have the ability, you warm up with your partner, have 2 balls on the court so that the warm-up goes quickly and you get as many touches on your paddle as you can. So it looks like we are set to go. We got the cameramen all ready to go. Dennis is going to start the serve. Setting it up. Got lob by Barbara, and Jeff comes in. Great move by Jeff. He probably overplayed that a little bit. As you watch Barbara, she has a fantastic serve. Overhead lob. There goes Jeff. They're sorry, that was Dennis going across. And that's some of it. People sometimes get mad when they when they get hit, but if your partner hits a high ball, that's the shot. Pickleball is very quick up at the net, so you need to have your paddle ready and ready for balls coming at you. So serve goes back over. Barbara serves it. Going to Pauline. And Pauline has a really nice soft game. So you see, really looking for that middle. They got Dennis to pop it up, and Jeff was there for the winner.
She'll have a guess, sure, when she thinks it's.
Serve to Pauline. It's a see the little cat and mouse game. Looking for that high ball. Great defense by Barbara. They were able to catch it down at Jeff's feet. So now it's Jeff's serve, and you'll see they'll be stacking as well so that they can get Jeff in the right position, have his forehand in the middle. You see the women taking a lot of balls. Again, a little bit of cat and mouse, waiting for the pop-up. Barbara kind of surprised Dennis with that ball into his backhand. So another point. Jeff hits a nice deep serve. See him cross over. Again, the little cat and mouse, the two female players. Dennis needs to be ready because at any moment. Oh, Jeff got that one right into his backhand and was able to push it off to the sideline. Really nice shot. So the serve comes back over to Dennis. So it's 2-2 right now, close match. Big forehand by Dennis that goes a little bit long. Probably overhit that a little bit, but sometimes that happens. You get that one that you think you can really do something with.
Anne was one of my little instructors.
Susan and Paul,
Served by Pauline.
Game's ready.
Oh, got it past Jeff. Here comes the lob. That may not work. I think the sun was a factor because Jeff usually has quite the good overhead. Waiting for a call on that. Very nice call by Jeff. It hit the corner. Great shot by Pauline. She'll serve again. It's 3-2. Again, you're going to see the stacking on this side as well. They got it right at Dennis's feet. He wasn't able to block it back in, so Barbara back serving. You're going to see the nice softballs, the two women going cross court. And these two are masters. They popped it up, and there's Jeff to pound the middle and take it. So it's 3-3 now. Barbara's still serving. So interesting, you're going to see a double stack here. They really want those the guys to have the forehands in the middle. That soft game. You got to be so careful if it pops up at all. People are going to, this level, people are reaching in, playing in the kitchen. So it's 4-3 for Barbara and Jeff. Just why Barbara got the high ball that she was looking for, but did a little bit too much, made it a little bit too close, and it just missed the line. Still 5-4. Good deep serve. Great return by Dennis. The slob. And both these teams play wonderful defense. Too much. Little reach by Barbara. Again, just missed. So 4-5. Short return by Barbara.
So you're a player and a volunteer.
I'm just a player.
Trying to make our way.
I remember you from last.
Yeah, I got interviewed for singles last
4-3 right now. Score correction.
Q, MCH.
Those high ones, they're lucky.
Okay.
A little bit too much on the cross-court shot, just out. Serve goes back over to Barbara and Jeff.
She knows me if she's doing that. Okay.
Good defense by Pauline. Got the ball, got it back, and then tried to do a little bit too much.
We'll find you.
It's interesting. You think you have to cut it really close on those, they call the dinks, little short balls, but you really need to get some height over the net. Great exchange there. They got it at Barbara's feet, and she hits it into the net. So when you hit it into the net or you hit it long, we call those unforced errors. And then the balls that are clean winners are, you might be forced errors or they're just winners. Big forehand by Jeff. He's got a lot of power. Good defense by Pauline, but it goes wide. This is a very close. They're going to switch sides right now. What's this? 6-3. So the score is 6-3. So when we're playing games to 11, because of the sometimes the wind, but the sun primarily, they're going to switch sides at 6 points. So Barbara and Jeff are now up 6-3.
Polly is for dinner.
I give it away.
All right, Polly. Jeff to serve, gets a nice deep ball. Great dink. Ooh, a little bit too high. Can't give those high balls to Dennis, because he is going to do something with them. So the serve goes back over. Pauline's going to see if you see the stacking going on. So Dennis is a left-handed player, so you're going to see a little bit different stacking than you might with two right-handers. Great ball behind them. Jeff just missed it. Made a great effort to get back to the baseline. Pauline serves again. Fortunately got to backhand that one. That's a tough one to play good defense on when Jeff gets that high short ball. So it's 4-6-2. So Dennis is the second server of this rotation. Good deep return by Barbara. Jeff was there in the middle to just reset the ball, hit it short. Pauline couldn't get the ball back. So the serve comes back over, 6-4. Nice backhand by Dennis.
You're skinny enough, you're fine.
And you're going to see that little cat and mouse game, back and forth, the two women until one of them thinks they can hit it cross court and catch the male player off guard.
Oh, wow. Okay, so when the game ends, you'll... Okay.
So it's 6-4.
Oh, come on.
So missed return, those are the ones you hate because it's just a point for the other point. You want to be consistent on your serves, getting them in, and your returns. Barbara made a great serve, jump, got the high ball, and hit it on the net. A little, so it's 4-7. Serve goes back over to Dennis and Pauline. Nice deep serve. Got that big forehand, gets it low. Good defense by the teams. Another great pickup by Dennis. What a point. Dennis played some great defense, got the ball back in position for his forehand, and took the drive and was able to win the point. It was 5-7, really close match. that big forehand, great duck by Barbara, and the ball was out. So sometimes you got to be careful with the drives. If you don't have quite enough topspin on them, they're going to fly. So it's 5-7-2. See the stacking going on. Oh, out serve. That hurts when you've got the opportunity to score points in such a close match. So Jeff serve goes back over to Jeff and Barbara. Good low pickup.
It's my claim to fame.
Barbara was right there for that pop-up and put it away in the middle. No chance for the other team to get it. It's 8-5-1. Good return by Dennis. Slow ball. Trying to set up again for that high ball. Barbara can't handle that ball right at her and it goes out. So now Barbara gets the serve, 8-5-2. They're playing to 11. Nice solid return by Pauline. Just taking her time, being patient, playing a little cross-court dinks. Jeff made a great move to pick that off, but it was too hard and it went out. But those are the kind of moves that you want your partner to be looking for when it just gets into the dink battles. So 5-8, Pauline and Jeff and Dennis have a chance now. Great overhead by Jeff, angling it away so that Dennis had no chance at it. So Dennis, the second server, 5-8. Could really use a point right now. Nice angle. Pauline got it up a little bit too high, and Barbara was there for the great angle.
No, I was very impressed with
So it's 8-5-1. Another out serve. Barbara's telling herself to calm down. Net cord winner. No. You love it when it happens. When you hit it, you hate it as a player when it comes over to you. So 8-5-2. Again, the stacking. So timeout called by Pauline and Dennis. Great move at this point. So it's 9-5-2. Wonderful, as I mentioned, wonderful time for them to take a timeout, try and slow down the momentum, get their opportunity, get their strategy set. And they're playing to 11. So you see they leave the paddles on the court in the position they were in. See Dennis and Pauline, again, trying to get calmed down, figure out what they're going to do to get the serve back to stop them from closing out this match. Good return by Pauline. Great dink by Barbara. Yeah. Tried to get it down Dennis's line, and that's not going to work on his big forehand, and he puts it away. So they get the serve back. Good opportunity for them to get back in it. 5-9. Great serve by Pauline. Cut it down low to Pauline. Oh, what a great shot by Jeff. Got a little bit behind him, but he was able to get in position and hit a wonderful drive down the middle that neither player could get. It's 8-5-2 now. Dennis is going to serve this one. A 5-9. Great deep serve. Barbara hit a wonderful shot. Pauline couldn't get to it. The wind, it seems like the wind's picking up a little bit, so that kind of held that one. All right, so big opportunity for Jeff and Barbara. 9-5-1. Return was just out, so this is game point. Big serve by Jeff, gets the ball in the middle. Good block by Pauline.
10-5.
and he misses it. So it's 10-5-2. Barbara's got a chance to start things off, close out this match, see what Dennis and Pauline can come up with.
Christian and Vicky, Sarah and Mark.
So they missed that one. Pauline made a great grab on the cross-court shot. Barbara couldn't do anything with the high ball. So they've got another opportunity to get back in this match. 5-10-1. Oh, Pauline gets the shot. Little help from the net cord, and they get that point. 6-10-1. Jeff moves around to take a forehand. Barbara got another high one. Went for a little bit too much. That ball's wide. So Pauline and Dennis pick up another point. Barbara goes to Pauline, gets another high one. Ball is just out. The serve goes to Dennis. It's 7-10. Big forehand. Barbara got the paddle on it, but couldn't quite block it back. So it's 8-10-2. They're closing the gap a little bit here. Another big forehand, this time to Jeff. Ladies, oh, got that. Yep. Barbara was able to get it down at Dennis's feet. He couldn't do anything and popped it up. Unfortunately, he popped it up to Jeff. So another opportunity to close this match out. 10-8. Oh, Jeff got the ball he wanted. High to his forehand. Again, went wide. Another opportunity, 10-8-2. A little bit softer serve. So that low ball got popped up. Jeff couldn't get it on his paddle to defend. So 8-10-1. Another opportunity for Dennis and Pauline, but Jeff says, no, that's not going to happen. So he crosses over. Wonderful poach by Jeff. Saw that high ball, was able to read that cross-court shot and moved across to put it away. 8-10-2. Nice low ball. Playing the dinks, trying to get somebody to pop it up. This is where, and Barbara got it. She's shaking her head, talking to herself and her partner on that one. She got the shot she wanted. So 9-10-2. And this gets the big forehand that he loves and hits it in the net. All right, so can they do it on this go round? 10-9-1. And the little softball gets the high one, and that was it. This time she made sure she was not going to miss that high ball. So that's the end of that match. That was pretty exciting. Good comeback by Pauline and Dennis. They couldn't quite make it, and woo, I'm glad to have somebody else here. I'm tired of talking. Hi, Pauline. Pauline, remind me of your last name.
Beck.
That's right, Polly Beck. What am I calling? Pauline's on the court. Polly is here with us. So great to have you here. Yeah.
Thanks for talking to me.
So, Polly, I know you obviously through pickleball. You did some of the clinics with the city of Tallahassee.
Yeah.
So tell us a little bit about your pickleball journey.
Well, it hasn't been that long, and you were my instructor, obviously. Just started January of 2022. A friend of mine, Vicki Childers, invited me to play, and I didn't even know what pickleball was, so I kept blowing her off for months. And then I finally, January 2022, looked it up, and I said, okay, I can maybe do this because I don't have any tennis background. So I went to the senior center. So that was my first experience, and then I started taking all the clinics with you know.
Right.
As we went, so now I play every day.
I know you've got the bug now, I would say. And the senior center, we talked a lot about the how you can play through Parks and Rec, and that the Leon County is doing a lot. And then Fred had told us about Northside.
Yes.
But senior center, talk a little bit about your experience with the senior center.
Well, I think the senior center is, you know, when I first started going there as a beginner, I think it's great for beginners because Linda, I don't know her last name, but is there. She's so kind, and she'll play with the beginner players, and she really makes sure that people are playing, you know, not too hard for, kind of like how I saw you play yesterday. You know, you played down. You know, you played down for new beginners.
Right.
So I like it for that, but then it gets really crowded too. And I like outdoors myself. I prefer to play outside.
How many courts do they set up at the senior center?
I think there's only two.
2 courts.
2 courts,
right.
and it gets crowded. You could wait for up to like a half hour, and that's what happened. Our group started growing, so then we would be waiting between. So we all said, well, why don't we started playing at Tom Brown, and then we ended up playing at Winthrop when they finished the courts.
Right.
So now that Winthrop is dual courts, we play there.
Yes, and to me, you're a perfect example of, we talk about how clinics are so great. Not only do you learn in a short period of time and you start playing, but you kind of find your group.
Yes.
So talk a little bit about how that...
And that's exactly what happened. So I already knew Vicki, but she had already been playing ahead of me, so she was like advanced beginner, I was beginner. So and then we did meet people through the clinics, and then you get each other's phone number and you plan a time to meet up to play. And we've done that plenty of times. And then our group just grows from that.
Right. So how many people do you have in your group on and off?
Well, our group has 47 members.
Yeah.
It's a lot. But on average, like last week, we had about 19 people that played at one time.
Right.
So the average is about anywhere from 7 to 13 people each time we play. 19's a lot for an outing. But we rotate. We do a sign-up sheet, kind of like you do at the senior center, and we have a good time.
Right. And where do you play?
Winthrop. So we always usually play at Winthrop. And, you know, I know there's a lot of contention, they say, with the pickleball and tennis. It works out pretty well. And then there's a tennis league that happens on Tuesday, Thursdays right now at Winthrop. So we go over to Lafayette Park.
Okay.
Well, 2 gentlemen that always play at Lafayette got my phone number, and we text when we rotate with each other the time. So they work with us really well.
Yeah, that's wonderful, because I know if anybody's paying attention to what's going on in pickleball,
yes,
the growth has been so huge, and like at Winthrop, where the city painted lines on the tennis court, so you can either play tennis or you can play pickleball. There sometimes is contention because everybody wants to play, which is a great thing. So to hear something like that, where it is possible to work together.
It is.
Yes.
But for us, we do have a big group.
Yes.
So we never go out there and we will hold a court, but if there's other courts open, we would never take a court if people show up to play.
Right.
We would give it up because if there's no other courts.
Yes.
And we play our 1.5 hour time. You know, and I live across the street, you know that, so I can see what's going on. And honestly, at night you'll find nothing but pickleball at night. It is so fun to watch because all the college students go. So I'd say on average, 4 out of the 6 courts at any given time are pickleball.
Yes, Winthrop, I think a lot because of its location within Tallahassee, has become kind of a pickleball hotbed. And if you look at, because you all play in the morning, and morning through until 5:30, it's first come, first serve.
Yes.
Then at 5:30 on at here at 4 Oaks, at Winthrop, at Tom Brown, you can make a reservation. You can either call Forest Meadows to make the reservation, or they have this fabulous app called Court court reserve where you can just do it.
And I love that thing. We
Yes.
play Wednesday night, so we always do court reserve. And honestly, I wish we could do that all the time because I would love to pay and know I could just walk out. It's very stressful to try to get a court when there is contention.
It is.
You know, I would love to just be able to go out and go, it's 5:30, we could play. You know, I do enjoy that, but there's not the manpower to be able to have people monitors. You know.
Yes. Unfortunately, the city can't have a monitor there to collect fees or make sure that people have the right court.
Exactly. So I think it might get worse too, sadly.
It is, because now what I'm seeing when I go out in the afternoons to Tom Brown or to Winthrop, they've got a huge pickleball club at FSU.
Yes.
So they're coming out and using the courts. I know they have some courts on campus, but until they build their own facility, they are. Boy, if you hear people say, "Oh, pickleball's for old people."
Right.
It's not anymore.
No, and like I was saying earlier, they come at night. So after the last reservation, what is it, 7 to 8:30? They will play till 11:30 at night.
Yes.
I live across the street. I do not hear anything.
Right.
I only see it if I turn off my lights at night. And I love to see all the college students out there. I do. They have a good time, and they're full of. You know, and that's great for them because they don't come they don't really come in the morning time.
No.
They're sleeping.
Yes, they're sleeping because they played pickleball so late, right?
Exactly.
But it is definitely trending younger.
Yeah.
The people we see coming into pickleball, they've got pickleball courts at Deer Lake Middle School.
Yeah.
They have a middle school team there.
That is awesome.
I know.
I didn't know that. I knew they had the courts. But.
Yes, so I think you're going to see that more and more.
And you know, I know Tallahassee doesn't have the money or whatever, but I have a condo in Ormond Beach, and they have Pictona. Have you ever been to Pictona?
I have not, but I've heard about it. So tell everybody about
gosh,
Pictona.
and Advent Health, which is something like a CHP down in that area, helped funded with the family. I do think they did get money besides Advent Health, but it is 50 courts, and they're all outdoor. Only about 10 are covered. So if inclement weather, you can still play, but there's 50 courts, and then they built a warehouse, so 49 are outside, and one's in a covered where they have the professional tournaments. So they're trying to get the professional tournaments there.
So it's still sort of outside,
It's all outside.
but you've got the cover almost like a.
And they have a restaurant and a bar. It's super fun. Friday nights and Saturday nights they play music, so you could play pickleball to the music. It's a great venue. I wish if Tallahassee, I'd invest in that.
Right.
I would.
So what do you think about the indoor pickleball facility that's coming to Tallahassee on Northland Road?
Yeah.
It's going to be pickleball, a lot of other fun ping pong, and it's going to have food and alcohol.
I'm just worried about it because I think it might be more of like a family venue, which is great, and I hope it does succeed in that direction. But I don't know that I personally would be that interested in playing there indoor, you know, because again, I like to play outdoors. So, but on inclement weather, it's always nice to have indoor. You know, I hope it will be a success.
I think it's a credit to the pickleball population here in Tallahassee that someone thought that type of venue could make it.
And I do hope it does.
Yes, because there are a lot of other chicken and pickle, a lot of other fun places.
And I think Tallahassee has the growth for something like that. We just don't have the manpower, you know, the money for people to come in and invest. So it'll
definitely be interesting to see that as we go. It was a huge thing when these courts got built. To have 6 more dedicated pickleball courts.
And these are beautiful.
Yes.
These are beautiful courts. I like them. But again, they're, you know, I mean, I could walk out my door and play at Winthrop. So I don't come here personally, but I think they're great.
Yes.
And I like them.
So you mentioned as close as you are to Winthrop and there's late night play, that the noise is not really a factor. And that's another thing that you hear so much about throughout the country is people complaining about the noise of pickleball.
I don't hear it at all. The only time I hear it, if I go in the backyard, I hear it, but I like that noise. But there's also the ting of the bats when they have baseball. See, I love all that. See, I like it's life and vibrant. People are playing, you know, families. So
Yes.
it doesn't bother me, but I do not hear anything inside.
That's great to hear, because I know a big thing they're trying to do is get the pickleball manufacturers to do something with the make balls that don't make as much noise, or paddles that don't make as much noise, and
Yeah, I like it. Though.
it'll be interesting. Well, you're right. It shows the vibrancy of the city.
I like that
as we
pop.
go.
Yeah.
So, are you playing in the senior games?
I'm not. I'm not. There's some good competition out here, and I mean, I'm under here. No.
Okay.
Court 1 earlier would have been my age bracket with
that was-
Holly and Charles, and
That's
I would be torn up.
it's there's some good players. out
Yes,
here.
yeah, there are, and
Yes.
and so. No, I like to watch though and cheer them on.
I know you and a lot of your folks were out here yesterday. I saw them. I'm sure they're out here today.
Yeah, we do
cheering
have
on.
2 of ours playing now. Yeah.
And picking up pointers as well.
Yeah.
So, what's your favorite thing to watch for when you're watching your matches?
When I'm watching, well, I'll tell you, as a player, my favorite is when you make like a wide shot and they're kind of off the court and they return it, and then your partner sends it right down the middle. Like, you know, you divide the Red Sea.
Yes,
I love that.
absolutely.
That's my favorite shot.
So what tips do you pick up that you're going to be able to take and...
Well, like watching Barbara over here, like I love their dinking. A lot of times we don't dink. You know, I like the dinking. We need to be dinking more, and they did a really good job being patient. And
She
then,
is masterful.
Yes.
Wow.
So
She's
those
so
are good
patient.
pointers. You know, and you know, we have a guy in our group, Dale. I don't know if you know Dale, but he's an instructor now.
He's going to start teaching for...
He, you know, I've done drills with him, and he always said, patience, patience. And he rings in my mind whenever I throw one in the net. You know,
Easier
like patience.
said than done.
Yeah, so those are my, you know, tips that I take away. Is just patience.
Right.
You
Yes.
know?
Patience, and look for that. Why are you doing the dinking?
Yes.
It's to get them to pop up
and listening to you, you know, commentate it, saying, you know, you're looking, when you're dinking, you're looking up for that pop up, you know, so you can see a shot.
Well, and not get lulled into this dink, 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 and then all of a sudden, I mean, that's one of the things of pickleball. It's so quick.
It is, and I've improved. You know, it's nice to see myself over these couple years improve. I used to be scared to death half the people I play with, you know.
What were you scared of the most?
Their power. You know, I used to be, like, if I go to the senior center, there's probably half a dozen people that are in our group now, but when I didn't know them, I was like, you know, you shriek. And I don't anymore. So,
That's good.
But they're also in my group, so I'm used to them. You know?
Right.
You get used to someone's play.
I think they call those bangers.
Yes,
and when I first started playing, I'll never forget, they people across the net said, don't worry, she's a banger.
Right,
I'm
right,
like,
right.
oh, they're right.
Yeah.
That was my go-to, is just hit the heck out of it, and that's not going to work.
Yeah. And I'm not a banger. I've gotten, if I get a good shot, I can be, but that's generally not.
Yeah, but on the other side is being able to, you know, ready. Okay, I'm gonna get set because it's coming right at.
Right, be ready for it, because I do have a tendency sometimes to still pop up. I mean, I do it, but I'm ready for them now, like you said, when I could take the return, instead of eating it, you know.
Yeah. It's not fun. Not fun at all.
No.
Yeah. Well, this is a great day today. Yesterday it was so windy.
Yeah, and you know, I'm used to playing outdoors, so the wind, you know, indoors is kind of difficult for me now because it seems like really fast pace.
Yes.
You know, so I love vitamin D out here.
I know, it's great. And the city of Tallahassee does have a lot of indoor opportunities for folks as well. Can you talk about some of those?
So Sue, you know, some of our group rents the court. You know, you could reserve on Monday and Fridays. I rarely play because I can play outdoors. So our group gets a little divided because some do go play indoors.
Right.
And then Wednesday they have open play there, so anybody could go play, and it's free on Wednesday, right? I think 9 to 1.
I think so.
And the senior centers, you know, Monday, I think they do even Monday nights or maybe Wednesday nights, and they have quite a few days you can play at the senior
center. Is there any charge at the senior center?
Yeah, I think it might be like $2 or $3, which isn't bad. But Jack McLean, I think Saturday morning's a lot of the indoor do have it, but then we run into the summer.
Yes.
And you can't play
In the
anywhere
summer,
indoor.
yes, all
That's
the
the problem
indoor.
too.
Right.
Then you got all the indoor players having to find something outside.
Right. Northside does. They
I've
have
never
the 3
played there,
courts.
yeah.
It's every day of the week. They've got people.
Yeah.
You can play indoors. I think it's $3 to play.
Yeah, that's
So-
nice, and you can rent a court there too.
Yes,
I'm
you
pretty
can.
sure. So
You can.
we've thought about doing that before, but generally I do play outdoors. That's
Yeah.
my thing, and it's free.
Yes, which is great.
Yeah.
And earlier, Fred talked about Tallahassee Pickleball Association, and for all these sites that we're talking about, and when you can play, when you can reserve. If you go to the Tallahassee Pickleball, either the site or the Facebook page,
Yes.
there is a list. Can you talk about that?
Yeah, so I think one of the members, she made a list and she updates it pretty regularly of all the court opportunities. And at one point, I think we printed it out, and so I would give it to people that would show up at Winthrop, because the one thing about Winthrop, it is not ever open play.
Right.
It's only first come, first serve. So we would give it to people to for other venues that have actual open play for people to come, because I always notice people write on the Facebook, hey, I'm going to be in town from Monday through Wednesday, where can I play?
I know.
And so it's nice to have that page. And my husband, I travel with my husband a lot with golf, and everywhere we go I look for pickleball. So I love that they have Facebook pages and they have court opportunities, so I find opportunity to play where I go.
And that's one of the nice things, is wherever you travel, you can typically find.
You can, and I only go to open play because obviously that's the other thing that I wish some of these apps like Pickle Play and there's another one, Pickleball Scheduler. I wish people would utilize that more, because if you could put your region where you're headed to and where you're going in the dates, and they'll show pickleball. I've only found that one time to be
That's a great
true,
idea.
because if people could put all of our information of open play here in that.
Right.
But
That would be
they're
a lot
great
easier.
concepts, but I don't think they're that,
I think it's possibly some of the growing pains with pickleball. Because being involved in tennis for as long as I was, it was a little more advanced on scheduling and how you let people know.
Right.
Didn't have the open play opportunities that pickleball does, which is so nice.
And, for me, open play isn't an issue because I have a group to play with, you know what I mean? So I don't really ever look for open play myself.
Yes.
But it's nice if I go out of town to be able to do that, you know?
Now, your husband used to be a golf pro.
Well, he's not a golf pro, but his brother is. So he comes from a long line of golfers. But my husband competes in amateur tournaments all over the country.
So you do get an opportunity to travel. And,
I do.
And chose pickleball instead of golf.
Oh yeah, I don't play golf, and I'm glad I don't. But like we're going to Palm Springs in April, and they have a great, I think it's called Tennis in a Pickle, and it's a facility in Palm Desert actually, and I love playing there because everyone's a snowbird, nobody knows anybody, so it's like you're meeting new people every time you play a game. They don't know each other, so you don't feel like you're in a clique.
Right.
Sometimes you could go to open play, and there's still cliques, people that play together.
Yes.
But I've never really been anywhere that they have not been friendly to me ever. But that's my favorite facility. Pinehurst is another one of mine over in North Carolina. I like that one a lot.
Nice.
So yeah, I do get to, and sometimes I choose not to play. If I play too much here, I take a little break. But,
which is a good thing to do.
So, but it's fun.
Sometimes it can be a bit much.
And I get him out on one night a week, so I reserve over at Winthrop, so he plays with our group one night a week.
You've got him to come
he'll
over
play.
and
nice. So we have a good time. We really do. No, I don't play golf. Not my thing.
Right.
And he's probably glad.
Yeah.
I'll be tagging along with him. No, I don't think he'd like that.
Takes a long time.
Yeah, it's just, I'm surprised I even like pickleball because I tried tennis and I just don't have upper body strength, so I could never really master the overhead serve.
Right.
So it would always go in the net or short, and so this is my thing.
Yes,
it's
that's
right
great.
Up,
That's great.
Yeah. So anyway, I enjoy it.
Yeah. Well, it's been so great to have you.
Well, thanks for talking.
Visiting. Yeah.
Okay.
So great. Thanks,
yes,
Polly.
thanks,
All right.
and
Take care. Have a good rest
job
of the day.
on your playing too.
Thanks.
Bye.
I'm not sure. Hey, Bill, come on. Is Bill next? While we're waiting.
Polly's next.
She just got done.
Oh, no, not Polly. Okay. Yeah.
Bill.
It doesn't look like a Polly.
After Bill, we'll have Karen from the Tallahassee Senior Center, and she'll talk about the new pickleball courts at the new Senior Center.
Oh, okay.
That will be coming up.
Hi, Bill.
Hey, how are you?
Wow, what are you wearing? What's the jewelry?
Fancy.
Wow, and those things are heavy.
I know, it's stressing my neck out.
Yeah.
So me and my partner Sue won a gold for mixed doubles, 55 to 60, even though I'm over 60.
Wow, that's okay. We had the pleasure of watching that match, and it was. So, tell everybody about how you even got to the gold medal match.
Oh, today? Well, we were undefeated. But
how many players? How many teams?
There were 7, so we played 6 in the round robin, and I think they just did it based on points because there were a lot of teams with 1 loss. I think. We were the only one that was undefeated.
So there was just one pool with 7 teams, and it was loaded.
Yeah, I mean the top half was pretty strong.
Yes.
Yeah, because Jeff is a really strong player. Barbara's very experienced. Dennis and Pauline, so the top 4 were different from the bottom 3, I would say.
Yeah, and this isn't your first journey to the podium at the senior games, is it?
No, I've been fortunate so far.
You get some really
This is
good
my 3rd time doing senior games.
Nice.
I didn't play singles this year because I'm dealing with an injury. So
okay.
That's really, I'm probably better at singles than doubles.
Really? Good for you. That's
still figuring it out.
It's a very different game. Singles to doubles.
Yeah, movement's critical in singles.
Right.
So even if you have great ground strokes, I remember I played this guy. It was one of the first tournaments I played that was competitive. It was down in Pictona. They have real big tournaments. The pro circuit goes through there now.
Right.
So I played this guy who was like a 5-0 teaching tennis pro in South Florida, and when we were warming up, I thought he would kill me.
Yeah.
Because his ground strokes are beautiful, but his movement wasn't that good. And I was at the kitchen 70% of the time, so I destroyed him. It wasn't even close.
I, as a former tennis player, I think tennis players come in and they think, this is going to be easy.
Yeah.
And it's not. The nuances of the game.
Exactly. And a lot of the tennis players cut slice.
Yeah.
And then the ball sits up.
Yeah.
You have to hit topspin really.
Yes. Yeah.
And he was hitting a lot of cut slices. I could run those down. Plus the points come back quicker. So I think a lot of people that play tennis, even singles that are in pretty good shape, there's huge breaks between points. The points come back quicker.
Yes.
So it's more of a quick agility
Absolutely.
thing. Absolutely.
Yeah. Now this is the 2nd year you played with Sue.
Yeah.
Correct?
Yes. We won gold last year, same division.
Right.
But it was much more competitive this year, I would say.
Oh, this was tough. All the divisions are. I think
People are getting better.
More players, better players. Yeah. Very, very competitive. It'd be fun to take the winners of each division and kind of just do a fun playoff. So you've won here locally. What's next?
Well, I'm dealing with an injury. That's why I'm not playing. It's hard in singles if you're injured, because there's a lot of lunging. In doubles, I can deal with the injuries because it's easy to anticipate balls, and you have less coverage. But in singles, there's a lot of lunges.
Yeah.
And I just don't want to go backwards on my injury. So I want to get back so I can start playing competitive singles because I think I could play, 4 or 5 plus singles in my age group.
Yeah. But winning here, is this the end of it, or?
Well, no, we qualify for states.
Okay.
It's
just talk a little bit about the state senior game.
I haven't done it yet, so I'm probably not the best person to ask about that. But because I've qualified each time, it didn't work scheduling.
Right. Yeah.
And the singles would be different because the South Florida people, there's so many tennis converts that are, like I would have trouble in Orlando or South Florida qualifying. Where if I play in more local tournaments, I can win pretty easily.
For sure, yes.
That's why you're seeing people starting to travel to other cities because they may not qualify because only the top 5 in each class qualify for states.
Yeah. No, it is a different world at the senior pickleball games. I went 2 years ago, and it's
Yeah, they're serious.
it's very serious.
Yeah.
You said the South Florida, you get the folks from the villages come over.
For sure.
It's very, very competitive.
One thing that was helpful in my development early on is because you can be fairly, if you have a tennis background, not that I had a serious tennis background, but I was really a pretty high level racquetball player in a probably 4.0 to 4.5 tennis, functional. So I could start right away, singles, and be sort of competitive, just like the pros.
Right.
So doubles, I think it takes at least a year, I don't care how good you are, to figure out the nuances of doubles. But I could play singles, and a lot of people don't want to play singles. So, I mean, Lennon is exceptional. I mean, he's a legitimate 5.0. He's by far the best singles player. But I was beating a lot of the young guys. So I didn't know if I was really any good, you know what I mean? So I started playing in tournaments, but I got exposed to pickleball in more serious areas, like you said. And so I networked. And so when I go down to Orlando or whatever, I have a network of 4.5 to 5.0 players that I can play with, and I don't get a chance to do that here. You know, we're just not quite there yet.
Right. I think it's part of the growth of pickleball. So take us back to how you got started in pickleball, kind of your pickleball journey.
Well, it's about 3.5 years, I want to say. I started playing right before senior games 3 years ago. So how I got exposed to it, at the time we lived in Golden Eagle, and my neighbor said, somebody told him I was reasonably athletic, and he goes, you want to play pickleball? I go, what's that?
Yeah.
He goes, well, my brother's very competitive. He's in South Florida. He's like, it's his older, this guy's like 65 or 66, and his brother's 70. He's like one of the top ranked 70 plus in South Florida. And so their brothers are competitive. So I just need somebody athletic to run me around.
Yeah.
And so we went over to Northside, and he had paddles, and I like watched the video for 2 minutes, didn't know what I was doing, but you know, so really anybody who has reasonable hand-eye coordination could be functional right away. Where tennis or golf, it takes a lot of practice and timing.
Yes.
A good athlete can't pick up those sports and be good necessarily.
No, no, not at
Where
all.
in pickleball, you could, you know, like I probably started, I was probably a 3.5 day one, just from athletic background.
Right.
You know what I mean? And then, but mastering it's a different deal.
Absolutely.
You know,
yeah.
I
the
think it's
nuances of the game and.
But I fell in love with it day one. Plus, I was it. You know, like I played soccer semi-competitively to early 50s, and I had injured my knees, and I was done. I put all this weight on, and I just had given up on athletics. So pickleball changed my life, really. I probably lost 30 pounds since I started playing. And the movements are such that it wasn't as brutal like playing soccer. It's different.
Oh, yeah, totally different.
And you can be good, like you have some of the movement issues too,
Absolutely.
and joints. And you can play doubles.
Yes.
I mean, you can get taken advantage of in a real competitive situation if your mobility's limited, but you can be pretty competitive.
Yes.
I think.
Yes, you can. I find it easier on my body playing pickleball.
Compared to tennis, you mean?
Yes, very much so. And I don't know whether it's smaller court or whatever it is, but yeah, it's a little bit easier. It's still, you hear a lot about the injuries associated with pickleball, and I think that's as people become better, there are quick movements. You know, recommend people, you have to wear eyewear when you're out there, and you need to wear court shoes to make sure that you're...
Yeah, the running shoes is a problem.
No, running shoes.
You know, it's funny you said that. My wife has a consulting practice that deals healthcare industry, and a lot of it deals with seniors. And her medical director is sort of he lives in California now, but he was head of, he was like a department chair of the medical school. A highly respected guy. But they've done research, technical research on pickleball and injuries and things like that. And it's true, people do get some injuries. Most of them are orthopedic in nature, but it doesn't stop them from playing.
Right.
And there's a lot of recent studies on the health benefits of pickleball that is shocking.
Yes.
You know, it's really shocking now that it's been around a little longer, starting to catch, that it's adding significant longevity to people. So even though you can get injured, but you can get injured walking, you know, from your car, but
right.
But it's not a deterrent to them
No, I think the
playing.
social benefits
For sure,
and it's interesting to me, especially as the demographic for pickleball gets younger and younger, and I'm sure you've seen that.
For sure.
With we've got a huge pickleball club at FSU, and
Yep.
players getting younger and younger, and when they start playing, because it's such a small area, and the fact that it's easier, there's so much chatter going on that you don't have in tennis. Tennis, you got to yell across the net to somebody.
Right.
You're not all at the non-volley zones jawing at each other when somebody hits a shot.
Do you still hit tennis at all?
Not at all.
Because what I found, not that I was an avid tennis player like you, but when you get used to playing pickleball, then you go look at a tennis court, it feels like it's a mile long.
I know.
You know?
I don't know whether I could hit it that far anymore. So what's your next tournament coming up?
I haven't decided.
You still
yet.
travel a fair bit to play.
I did, but I kind of had found a lot of it I'll do it in concert with my wife's practice.
Gotcha.
So I have groups where I can play, and I'm starting to move in. I'm trying to get in my age group. So I want to get to 5-0. I would say I'm in my age group. I'm probably around 4-7, probably something like 4-5 to 4-7. Younger guys. They don't adjust for gender and age. I think they should. The skill ratings, like for example, 4-5 female is probably going to struggle with a 4-2-5 guy.
Oh, absolutely.
You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
And I think they should make sort of an adjustment. And it's a big difference. Like I played singles. It was right after I won silver 4-0, 4-5 combined, 60 plus at a PPA event. That's how you really know how you are.
And tell everybody what PPA stands for.
That's the Professional Pickleball Association.
Okay.
They have a tour. Just one of the things I think is really interesting about pickleball, this is just my opinion, is if you went to the U.S. Open for golf or tennis, whether you're a player or not, you're just a fan.
Right.
When you go to the PPA events, there's a concurrent amateur tournament. And you're interacting with the pros.
It's genius because you get people who are going to play and watch.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Plus, you can interact because a lot of them are multimillionaires yet.
Yeah.
And they're trying to get podcast following, so they're very approachable. They're extremely nice, I find. I think that's true about pickleball in general.
Yes,
people are friendly
agree.
and have a good attitude as a general rule. I think even someone who's really neurotically competitive and might not come off that way, it sprinkles over because that's just how people are.
Right. Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I mean, sometimes you'll get somebody who's difficult, but...
Well, it's interesting you talk about the different levels playing together, because I know one of the things tennis has attempted to do is they call it level-based play, and especially for kids, that instead of getting stuck in an age group that 10 and under can only play that, or 12 and under, if you get the rating, then you can play.
Yeah.
So I think in some regards that level-based play that pickleball has, where if you get a good young junior, which you're seeing more and more, they get to play with adults, which I think is incredibly beneficial.
For sure. Like a good example would be Asher, Tim's son.
Yes.
I mean, he very likely, if he's serious about it, could be the best pickleball player in town in 2 years.
I know.
If his athleticism.
Yes. As he adjusts for his growth that he's going to have.
For sure. And he's already tall. So.
There was a Ryan DeHart who used to be the assistant tennis coach at FSU, and his wife was here, and then he went to USTA, and he was one of the pro tennis coaches. Well, they both are on their pickleball journey, both playing pro, Megan and Ryan.
Oh, wow.
Megan's done incredibly well, but they have 2 young children. They're 6 and 8 or 9, so they're starting to play and doing really well at 3-0 and 3-5 adult tournaments. So I think you're absolutely right. You're going to see more and more.
I'll tell you a funny story if you want to hear it.
Yeah.
So when I played at Atlanta PPA, this is like over a year ago. It was my first time going to that level of tournament, so it was exciting. And I don't know if you've been to any of those. There's 2 clubs that they use now.
Right.
And they're very, 5-star kind of clubs.
I've been to one when it was more tennis than pickleball.
Yeah, it's starting to change now.
Yeah.
Do they have the indoor facility too?
Yeah.
Okay, that's the place.
Yeah. I think it's a Lifetime now.
That's right. I think that's right.
Yeah.
So that So inside, I mean, most of the, they have a center court for tennis that's really converted to pickleball now. And they have perimeter courts, and so some of them they made for the pickleball tournament. They converted tennis courts, but they had plenty of pickleball courts, and they had interior warm-up tennis courts that were set up for pickleball. So a lot of the pros were warming up down there, unbeknownst to everybody else. The first guy that I played, I ended up losing. I got the silver, he got the gold. He's very experienced. Like, he plays with 5-0s every day. I'm like, it's a huge advantage.
Yeah.
And we were close. I mean, it was competitive games. Like, I lost 2 out of 3 to him. It was close.
Yeah.
But anyway, so he's affiliated with that club. So our first match, because of overflow, we actually played indoors down. Most people don't do that because the pros are practicing down there. And I think he's a club member and probably had something to do with it. So we played in there, and Lee Waters, Anna Lee, who's the greatest female.
And her age is, what is
16?
16, yeah.
At the time, she probably was 50.
Yeah.
I think. I can't remember. But her mom, they were doubles partners before Mom got injured. And so Lee, and I forget who it was. It was a guy pro. They were playing with some 5-0s, 5-5s or something like that. They were practicing in there. So I'm playing singles against this guy. And he's got a YouTube channel, so he's videotaping it. I'm kind of nervous because I'm my first round in a real tournament. And I don't know if I'm really any good. I won some local yokel stuff, but I don't know. And he's one of the 4-5s. About half were 4-0s, half were 4-5s. I think I signed up 3-5 for my first tournament, so I won it. I didn't lose any games, but I had moved at like 3-7-6 or something. Just because I signed up in the wrong division, really. So, so I'm the only person who's not a 4-0 in this tournament, rating-wise. And I don't know, so it's not like that.
There's only one way to find out.
Yeah, this is how I find out. So I play this guy, he's a 4-5. And I just want to know if I'm a 4-0, So I played. It was competitive. The games. It was 2 out of 3. But anyway, so what happens is they have curtains down there. I don't know if you've been down there, but Lee Waters at some point went to the bathroom, and then when she was coming back out, she's a pro, and her daughter's like the best player in the world, females by far.
And she's not too shabby herself.
Yeah, she's awesome. She played college tennis, I think, in South Carolina. So she comes out the curtain in the middle of our match. She didn't mean to. And my wife doesn't know who she is. And she goes, hey, they're playing a match. And she goes, I'm sorry, and she kind of scoots through. And I go, Dana, I said, that's Lee Waters. Her daughter's like #1 in the world. They've won, their top pro. She goes, well, she should know better than. It's sort of funny how pickleball is that way,
I know, for sure. Yeah. Well, it looks like we're going to get a match. Yeah, they're starting another age division now.
I'll give you the names.
Sure. I know two. We've got Christian Weiss and Vicky Trox. And I think we're getting into the 70 to 75 age group. Yeah.
We'll all be there at some point, right?
We will. I'm edging.
You're getting closer than you like to admit.
Oh, for sure. Yeah. Oh, they've already started.
But actually, like when I started, Christian was like one of the ringers.
Absolutely,
at that time.
We talk about you've had some injuries along the way. So we got Christian Weiss, and he's serving. He's playing with Vicky Trox. Great pickup using that middle. Vicky hits it wide, and they're playing against Sherry Allen and Charles Fulton.
Sherry's the only one I'm not familiar with. Have you seen her play?
I have. I've played against her. She's quite a good player. Vicky's serving, still 0-0. I'm trying for that lob. Not sure whether that's going to work.
Well, the wind.
The wind seems to be picking up a little bit.
And if they're not playing, a lot of these kids, they're not playing with new balls. And Franklin's, after 2 games, they deteriorate so much. So the people who spin the ball have such an advantage. And the power players, you know, it's harder for them. They lose their advantage, I think.
Right. So that was called out by Charles. What time do you want me here until?
12:50.
Yeah.
Are we on camera still or no?
Yeah,
Okay.
no, we are. Yeah. Yeah, this whole time. All right, so Sherry is serving now.
That was a good shot.
Yes. Oh, you hate when you aren't set up and you get that high one and.
Well, the thing though, especially at below 4-0, there's a lot of miss-hit winners.
Yes.
You know. You know what I mean? Maybe I have seen her play actually.
It's interesting, she actually played doubles with Vicky, so she's playing against her partner.
Yeah, I played with
So
him
at this division, you're not going to see the type of stacking that you
Right.
did in the younger, and I have to say it was a really advanced division.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, because it's easy to defeat the stack if they can't move right.
Yes. All right, so the serve goes back over to Christian and Vicky.
But
So
you know, a lot of people,
0-3.
a lot of them will half stack. You know, just to, especially a lefty-righty combination.
Yes. So Sherry had the ball set up, and this block went a little short. Good deep serve by Christian. Got that high ball. That's when you have a little chat with your partner. Huh?
Yeah.
Could you keep the ball down a little bit? Because I'm gonna get hurt.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, sometimes when you're not the target, which a lot of times the guy is not in mixed doubles, they get so, especially some of the people that I drill and coach, if they get a pop-up, they're like, okay, I'm going after Bill now. You know?
Yeah.
Oh, what a shot.
Oh, very nice cross-court low ball. Again, Sherry wasn't quite set. She was still moving, couldn't reach out for that ball. So Christian's got a nice little run going. He's got a good deep serve.
He's got having a compact stroke is so key, and he does. A lot of tennis players don't. You know, they come in, they have very long strokes, and when it's windy.
Big swings.
Yep.
That's one of the things I'm sure in your coaching, you try and do whatever you can to get them to, one, understand it's unnecessary.
It just gets you in trouble.
Yeah.
Especially when you're within 2 feet of the kitchen.
A little stoppage here, not sure.
Because I tell the people I'm coaching, I tell them, I said, you should see, once you're within 2-3 feet of the kitchen, you should see your paddle the whole time.
Yes. Well, and there's such a, you should be moving in. The game is not played at the baseline. It's one up, one back, doubles just doesn't work.
No.
So if you're hitting and moving forward, you don't need the big,
exactly.
the big swing. Oh, Christian got it in.
Nice shot. Yeah, the simpler you make it. Plus, with the wind, there's no strings so you can make.
Yes.
If you're late in tennis, you can kind of make an adjustment. You can't with a paddle. It's almost like playing ping pong with a sandpaper paddle.
I find there's almost the correlation between ping pong and pickleball is pretty strong.
Especially fun app.
Yes.
And a lot of the players are doing a lot of wrist shots now. Yes. I don't think anybody who's sub 3.5 should fool with that. At that level, they should, make sure they have decent paddle head control before they fool with wrists.
Very important. So we saw the switch go on, which meant Christian and Vicky had 6.
This is a great point.
Yes. Got the ball. Great defense by Vicky. Got it low.
Nice point.
So it's 7-3-2. They have been on a nice run here. A little bit short. Vicky's trying to get it Well, that worked, I think, because of the sun in their eyes. It's really tough to see
Yeah, that's a good point too.
where Sherry was. You're looking right into the sun. 8-3, and they're playing to 11 points. And this is part of the round robin. She got tried for a little too much on that.
Well, you know, like when he hits a soft slice like that, a lot of people take a full ground. But actually, if you really get under the ball, you can take that slice and double the spin at the top. But you have to lift up on it so it doesn't go in the net.
Yes.
It used to be that the default return in doubles was to hit a, you know, kind of a cut slice in the middle. And the pros now are moving away from that because people are taking that double in the spin where the paddles have more grit.
Yes.
I still think that adjustment's premature, especially for people, I'd say, you know, that have slight mobility issues even, because if you hit a heavy topspin return, which you need to do in singles, but in doubles, it's just you're going to get caught moving to the kitchen.
Right.
You know, you're not going to be stable. So I think the slice is still good play for people over 50, let's say.
Yeah, and that stability is so important.
Yep.
People feel like they've got to rush in and be right at the kitchen line,
Right.
the next shot, which you don't have to, but you do need to be set
For sure.
so that you can keep things in front of you.
Yeah. I think for most, you know, kind of intermediate level, I don't know if that's fair, because a lot of times when I first started playing, it was like advanced was anything above 2.5.
Yes.
But I would say, you know, people should, like, I try to wait. When I split step, which you're saying getting stable, I basically split step when my shot starts to cross the net.
Yeah, that's a great tip.
Right
Yes.
before they're setting. Sometimes I'll wait till they're about to set.
Well, you're not going to get in trouble if the ball's in front of you and if
Yeah.
you can keep it in front of you.
Michael and
All right, so Christian and Vicky have the serve back. That high one worked for them.
Oh, wow.
Oh, great run.
Good athletic get,
A little
though.
bit too much.
That's tough at that age. Running for a ball like that can cost you the next 2 or 3 points.
Yes. They could be closing in on that. Vicky couldn't quite handle that spin. Vicky's the second server.
Oh, I think she missed. See, the wind really plays a...
Yes.
So when it's really windy, because this is the only place that's really bad for wind, just because the wind screens aren't terribly useful. What would help, though, is if we could get approval, because I think the Tallahassee Pickleball Association is willing to do it. Like Sweet Burmas, you know, they're like wind blocks. We can do those on the
Put some trees, yes.
Hale and Pete.
Because I think
Nice
the Tallahassee, they were collecting money to do that.
Yeah, nice deep serve. Oh, good
But
move
you know,
by
a
Christian.
lot of the South Coast, this is not unusual.
Right.
Down at the coast.
Yeah.
Like the first time I went down to Pictona on the perimeter courts, it's like, whoa.
Never mind, Kathy.
And it's a big deal. And I found, having played a number of those tournaments, what I do when I'm playing, I just reduce my backswing. Because if, you know, especially tennis players with good grounds like
Yes.
you, the ball can change in the middle of, like when your paddle's back,
Yeah.
it can change on you. And it leads to mishits.
So Sherry couldn't quite get that low ball back over. It's like the serve is coming back to Vicky and Christian. Let's see what the...
Have you ever played with Pauline? She is a tremendous player.
She's a very good player.
And my wife Dana, she's pretty good too.
Ah, that
You get,
ball
get-
down the middle. People aren't talking to each other.
see, come over here for just 1 second.
Great spot to hit it. Oh,
Can
we
I-
got a guest. We got a
Can
guest
I introduce
coming
my
in. Absolutely.
awesome
Come
mixed
on.
doubles partner?
Come on in, Sue. The person who carried Bill to victory.
Absolutely. Especially in mix, because they target her, and I don't know why. She gets everything back. No, you just sit here, queen. You're the queen.
The
of
queen.
pickleball.
It's funny, Sue, we were talking about you earlier as we were watching your match and your pickleball journey and how you started as a, well, tell everybody how you started playing pickleball.
Well, I played tennis for the majority of my teens and adult life, and then I went to Northside Community Center on open play in October of 21, and my first partner was this man that's right on the court, Charles Fulton. I showed up with a wood Franklin that my son got me from Walmart. And
how heavy was that sucker?
Boy, I liked it. I liked it. It felt like an old heavy tennis racket.
Yes.
And Charles Fulton, kept telling me, get into the net, get into the kitchen. And I was a banger, and I held back for a long time.
You resisted that for a while, and still were a great player by maybe not coming in as much as others.
And then, thanks to Bill and his guidance with drilling and drilling and drilling, that now I look forward to getting to the kitchen.
Yeah.
So yeah.
And this is the second year you and Bill have won the gold,
Yes.
correct?
Yes.
Yeah.
And he's playing down in my age bracket, which is very nice.
No, you all are a good team. Good team.
I really enjoyed playing with him. He's a very supportive partner. So
what's your favorite thing about pickleball?
Really? Probably the exercise.
Okay.
Honestly. Also the people I've met out here. And I wish I could play all the time. I wish I could play all the time, but no, it's just a great sport, you know. If you can believe it, I have not played tennis since the day I picked up a pickleball paddle.
I can believe it.
And that's because, so it's a great sport. And anybody can play.
Yes.
Anybody can play.
And there are tremendous opportunities, the open play that is unique to pickleball.
Right.
Where you can just show up and you can get a game. And there are lots of different opportunities.
Absolutely. You make
throughout
great
Tallahassee.
friends. We have perfect weather, especially today.
Yeah.
A little breezy,
Today's
but it's still
wonderful.
great. And these courts out here are so nice.
Yes.
I wish they were like this everywhere.
I know.
But
Well,
it's
growing.
Yeah, but we're very fortunate in Tallahassee to have you can always find a court.
Right. Yes.
You know?
Yeah. Either through the open play, the first come, first serve.
Right.
You can reserve courts.
Yep.
Well, thanks for coming by,
you.
Sue.
Thanks, Aunt, and congratulations on your gold,
thank
girl.
You. Thanks. We'll see you soon.
All right, girl.
So that last match, Christian and Vicky won that one. So they're well on their way in their bracket. So we're waiting for our next match. We've got divisions starting. This is the next division. We've got matches all around us. There'll be a division that starts at 2 o'clock. And it is a good crowd out here watching. Players that are playing, and a lot of people just coming out to support the pickleball community. So you've heard a lot about the Tallahassee Senior Center and what a wonderful place that is for folks to play, especially beginning players or if you want to get started. Good place to play. They have 2 indoor courts, and you can check with the Senior Center to find out what the schedule is. We're going to have Karen Castor on in just a few minutes, who is from the Senior Center Foundation, and she's going to talk to us about exciting things that are going, even more opportunities to come in. All right, Karen, we're just bragging about you.
Oh, wow.
Come on in.
Exciting. So glad to hear that.
Yes. So Karen Castor, who's with the Tallahassee Senior Center Foundation.
Yes.
So welcome.
Hi, nice to be here today.
Yeah.
It's beautiful. So, of course, pickleball is a very popular activity out at the Senior Center. We have 2 courts in our space, and people are able to play Monday, Wednesday, and Fridays.
Okay.
But the big news everybody asks about, the big question, is our second Senior Center. And
where is that going to be located?
That is going to be out at the Canopy Development. Premier Construction donated 6 acres out there, and the senior center will be built there. They're expected to.
Do I need a drum roll?
Yes, start the drum roll, because construction is expected to start this spring.
Wow.
Now, you know, building of that size, it's probably going to take 18, 24 months to finish that out. So we're looking at early 2026.
And for pickleball, that means?
For pickleball, good news, folks. 6 courts inside.
Wow.
We're going to have a large multi-purpose gym. So we are going to have to share that space with some of the other activities. You know, the senior center does offer a lot. So, you know, we've got a lot of health and wellness, fitness classes, but the senior center will also offer art, lifelong learning, lots of fun activities. It's going to be a really great center for the seniors in our community. So
oh boy,
everybody's been looking forward to it.
Yeah, so many opportunities beyond pickleball, but to have 6 indoor courts, that will be the largest public indoor pickleball facility in town.
Yes.
Yeah.
And of course, you know, if people have any questions, they can call our director, Sheila Salyer, and the senior center, 850-891-4000.
Great.
If you have any other questions about our new senior center, it's going to be a second one, we're not replacing the old one. We're still going to have that and everything going on there. So we're just expanding the opportunities for seniors in our community.
That's so exciting.
Yeah.
So do you have to be over 50 to play at the senior center? Okay, that's great.
18 and over.
18 and over.
You know, the majority of our folks are, you know, over 50 or retired, of course, but we welcome any active adults who are 18 and older.
And there's so many things going on at the senior center. Both athletics, educationally. Yes.
We've got about 100 different activities every week.
Wow.
Not just at the senior center, but we have activities at the community centers throughout the city and the county.
Yes.
Yeah. So if you live in the outlying areas, the community centers out there, there's opportunities for you. We have fitness classes out there. We have lunch and learn classes. There's a few other activities. There's a few art classes. Cards and games, things like that.
Right. So are you a pickleball player?
Actually, I'm not.
Oh, we need to change that.
I know. Every time I come out here, I see everybody having a great time. And I'm like, I should jump in and try this.
And right there at the senior center would be a great place.
We do.
All right,
we have
so
a big group. We have a big group out there, so you know, folks have that opportunity to talk to different people, make new friends while you're waiting for your turn, of course.
Right.
Yeah.
So important. I think that's a huge part of pickleball, is the social aspect of it.
And they love it. They love it.
Yeah.
So.
Because at open play, you come out, and if there's a large group, you do spend some just waiting and socializing.
So they have a great time. They, you know, I think they organize a bunch of different activities. They'll have little parties sometimes. It's fun.
All right, we got to get you out there playing. Especially with those new courts, and that's fantastic news that they've actually broken ground, because sometimes that's the hardest thing. Getting the permitting, you've got the land.
That has, you know, we've had to deal with a few changes, I would say, and so.
All part of the process.
Coming soon.
Yes,
Coming soon.
that is very exciting. Yeah. So you've been able to watch pickleball today?
I have. I've been out here trying to catch a few photos of folks, and we'll be sharing those on the Senior Center Facebook page. And pictures from all the different games. Actually, we're sharing those on the Senior Center Facebook page. It's Facebook Tallahassee Senior Center.
Okay. Yeah, I've noticed some of those. I played in the bag toss.
Yes.
And a lot of the pickleball players here have played in multiple events.
Right. I've seen a few folks out here, and you know, they've they've been playing multiple games.
Yes.
You know, the celebration of athletes will really highlight some of what everybody has done. These folks who, well, we're going to celebrate everybody. But,
Yes, and that's what's so great about the senior games.
Yes.
There's so many different activities that, and you don't even need experience in those activities
That's
to
right.
participate.
You can come out for fun. We've got a water aerobics coming up, and it's not competitive. It's just for fun, and
Yes.
people can come out and enjoy spending time out there. That's out at Myers Park at the Wade Greenwood Pool.
Yeah, and a new event this year is bocce ball.
Yes. And I hear that we've got a lot of people signed up for that.
That's great. They just put in, I think, 2 bocce ball courts at Forest Meadows.
That's
on
right.
Meridian Road.
Right.
Yeah.
So that's going to be a full day of bocce ball, I hear.
Yeah. And there's still time to sign up for some of the events. I know there's doubles bowling going on, bocce ball, and maybe 1 or 2 the water aerobics.
Right.
You can
There's
still sign up.
basketball shooting, racquetball. There's swimming. Oh my gosh, I'm trying to think of everything. Billiards is coming up. We've got powerlifting. Billiards is one of the new games.
All right.
Powerlifting, that's one of those, and that'll be at Premier Gym.
Okay.
But there's some other ones, of course, not come to my mind at the moment.
No, well,
but
there's so many of them. It'd be hard to remember all of them. So when is the celebration of athletes?
That's going to be in 2 weeks, and that's going to be at the Senior Center.
At the Senior Center.
Right, that evening.
Yep, and that's for who can attend that event?
Well, of course, we invite all the athletes, their family, any of their supporters. Just come on out and celebrate everybody who's been participating.
Good.
Yeah. But if people want to sign up for any other events, they can go to the talgov.com/senior games, and they'll see what's coming up. And it's just fun to get involved.
It really
doesn't have to be quite as competitive as pickleball, but people are just coming out to play for fun. We've got folks way up into their 90s.
Oh, it's so wonderful to see.
I love seeing it.
And again, there's still time to register for some of the events that are coming up.
Yeah.
Yep. So. All right, thank you so much for the exciting news, and we want to see you out here playing next year.
All right.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Bye.
Take the lights down and go to the other side. Put it on your clear.
Coming out this way.
Hi, welcome back to the Tallahassee Senior Games. We're out at the pickleball venue in the beautiful Four Oaks Park out near Southwood. So if you haven't been out here, come on out. It's a great pickleball facility, 6 dedicated pickleball courts. There are also playing fields. There's a wonderful place for kids to play, basketball courts. It's one of the crown jewels of the city of Tallahassee, one of their brand new facilities that they've built. So we're waiting for our last match of this broadcast coming up, and get to talk a little bit more about pickleball. Today's the last day of the pickleball event. You're watching mixed doubles. We have had singles that took place 2 days ago. Yesterday was gender doubles. You had women's doubles and men's doubles, and got to play outdoors after a little rainy start. Started a little bit late and ran well into the evening with the doubles. So we're going to have a special guest, the master of pickleball in Tallahassee, who's going to come up and help us call this last match. So the senior games are divided into 5-year groupings. So 50 to 54, 55 to 59, and on and on. So we'll probably have a match from the 70 to 74 age group. And I think for pickleball, it goes up. I think there's a 75 to 80 age group, and a lot of the other activities held in the senior games, the age groups go even higher. So there's still an opportunity to sign up for some of the events that are coming up. For the senior games this weekend, I know they've got doubles bowling, a new event, bocce ball and billiards is going on this weekend. So if you haven't had an opportunity or just have an inkling that you want to get involved, get active, this is the time to do it. It's a huge undertaking by the city of Tallahassee in putting on this event as well as all the other events that go on. So we've got just an amazing day out here, bright, sunshiny, blue skies, still a little bit of wind, but that's part of Tallahassee in the spring. We'll see how the players can handle that wind. So when the players come out, they're going to play one game, first to 11 points. One of the things with scoring in pickleball is you only score when you're serving. Used to be the way they did volleyball, so the serve and the return become very important. One, the serve, because you got to get the point started. 2, returning the ball in, because you don't want to give your opponents a free point. Because of the sun, that could be a factor, and sometimes the wind, the teams will change sides at whoever gets 6 points first, they'll change sides so that it's equal on who gets to look into the sun or who has to play in the wind. So it should be coming up momentarily. Got a great setup with the television coverage today. It's wonderful that it does get to be televised. They're trying to round up the teams now, get us a good match out here. A lot of people out watching pickleball, other players cheering their friends on, and then friends and family who have come out, some of the pickleball players within the pickleball community who may not be playing, but they're avid pickleball folks. So those of you who would like to see the coverage of pickleball, you can see it on demand at talgov.com, their YouTube page. So it looks like we've got the teams coming out. This should be a wonderful match. So as the teams are coming out, they will determine who. They'll pick a number. Whoever gets the number gets to choose whether they want to serve, return, or whether they want the side.
Oh, hey, girl. Tom said, do you know Ann?
Oh, look who we have, Michelle Bono. How are you?
I'm good.
My sometimes partner?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, all right.
Establish Michelle real quick.
So, Michelle, tell us about yourself.
So I started playing pickleball right before the pandemic. I actually love these people producing this. I used to work for the city, and and hired some of the people producing this, so they should make this production outstanding as always.
That's good.
So yeah, and I became quickly addicted and love pickleball. So much fun.
Yeah, it is. It is, and you're playing today?
So played yesterday in the women's, and then we're playing today in the mixed. And so yesterday, you know, so close. No medals. We played great. My partner and I had a great time. It's good competition. And one of the things I think that people need to know about pickleball is, you know, sometimes you think, well, that's made for athletes. And what I love about pickleball is it's really not made for athletes. It's made for anybody who wants to play.
Yes.
And so I was in high school, I was the nerd kid. I was the...
Really?
Hard to believe.
Wow.
I was the really nerdy one. I was the editor of the newspaper, and I played the violin and piano and never did any sports. And so for me, I did get to play some volleyball, and then Christian, who plays out here too, he said, you should learn this game pickleball, and it was in 2019. And so he said, you should go to the senior center. And I'm like, that's where old people go. Right. And then what I learned is it's not true, right? Yeah. The people at the senior center were awesome. They also, you know, killed me in pickleball. They were great and so much fun. And so that's where I learned. Linda at the senior center was my first teacher.
You are not the first person who's mentioned Linda's name today.
She is marvelous. So we learned, and then during the pandemic, we played a lot, carefully, right? And learned how to play, and then now my family plays, my nieces play, all my friends play.
You've got your daughter has been out playing.
Yes, we have played in tournaments together.
That's great.
So we played in a tournament in Gainesville and won a silver, I think. But
I think that's one of the unique things about pickleball is it truly is. It can be a family sport
and multi-generational, right? So my uncle who lives in Colorado was here, and my Uncle Alan is. He'll shoot me, but I won't get it right, but I think he is 82.
Wow.
And so he was playing with my younger nieces and nephew, and so, I mean, I just think it's so social and so fun. And like when you watch some of these folks, like when you watch this gold medal match, you're going to go, oh my gosh, it looks intense.
Yeah.
Okay, it is, right? But when you start, it's just like, you don't really worry about strategy, you just worry about getting the ball over the net. And it is so much fun. And so once you play a while, then you start thinking more about the strategy. And
yes, for sure.
Yeah.
So we've been talking, you've been watching the pickleball that they were doing their warm-up. You're allowed a 5-minute warm-up. So we're getting started here. Names. So we've got a couple of these folks out on the court, Michelle, are actually my neighbors.
Okay.
So we got Sarah Gargiula serving. She's playing with her husband, Mark. And playing against Lynn, and it's Michael.
Okay. People may recognize Sarah and Mark because they were recently featured in Tallahassee Magazine.
Yes.
They are. I would say they are to me one of the real athlete couples, right? They do everything. So do not judge this as what the average pickleball player is. These guys are all really superb.
They're good. And Mark and Sarah are both really good swimmers.
Yeah,
they'll be competing in the swimming portion.
And Lynn is like this powerhouse. She also competes in the bench press.
Yeah.
And when she competes in the bench press, she is, I don't know how much, she's maybe 100 pounds wet. She lifts 90 pounds. So she is a beast,
amazing.
Both on pickleball and more broadly.
Yeah. Well, Michelle, thank you so much for stopping by.
I will look forward to hearing you commentate the game. It should be great.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, take care. And to close out our broadcast, the master of pickleball, Lennon, I always say the last name incorrectly, Moncherie. Oh,
Yes,
close
wonderful,
enough.
Wonderful.
So
How you doing
Lennon,
today, my
even though
lady?
you don't need an introduction, please introduce yourself.
All right. Well, I'll say it again. Lennon Moncherie, the tennis operations supervisor at Forest Meadows and for the city of Tallahassee. Although the title says tennis, I'm responsible for pickleball. As you can see, it's one of the biggest things out there. As I previously said, 302 people for the senior games. We had 44 for singles, 150 for doubles yesterday,
amazing.
which was long, and then today we have about 108.
Is that the biggest number of all the events in the senior center?
This is the biggest number for the last 3 years.
Wow. Yay, pickleball.
Last year we had 166. Nobody can touch it. The closest thing was golf at 112.
Wow.
Yeah. So the game is growing, obviously, at a rapid rate, and the city is trying to keep up with it. But like anything else,
It's
it takes
tough.
time.
Yes.
And with the balancing of having to deal with so many other sports, it's not like the city just do a pickleball or tennis or golf.
Right.
They have to try to find a way to balance everyone's budget, right? Not just a budget, but land. Making more land. So
Yeah.
it's becoming tough. But you know what? And we're enjoying the process. We work constantly with whether it's the Tallahassee Pickleball Association, whether it's other organization, whether it's just listening to the general public about what is happening out there and try to do as best as we can. I mean, look at it. We started off a long time ago with what? No instructor but Lennon and myself.
Right.
And now we have 4, including yourself, right?
Yes.
Who help grow the sport so much. So
When you look at this facility alone and
Right.
what that.
So
So we got a close match going on here in front of us. We got the Gargiulas playing, and
Sarah, who's that over there?
it's Lynn
Oh yeah, Lynn.
Lenahan, and her partner, and it's Michael. Not sure what Michael's last name is.
Yeah,
But I think you're going to see a little bit different style of play with these four because they really like to hit the ball.
Yeah, you're not going to see too much dinking in this one right here, especially from the baseline.
Yeah,
Even on the
for
third
sure.
shot, you're not going to do that. But interestingly enough, very few teams stack, and they've been doing it.
Yes,
So,
we've seen a lot of stacking going on.
what's going to help them a lot, obviously, is now when you stack or when you make a mistake, you don't get penalized like you did before. So now that helps. People are more up to trying new stuff.
Yes.
Before, making a single mistake, not calling the right name, you lose a point. So they're more likely to do that.
Yes, for sure. So, Lennon, I know you played tennis at FAMU. You
Yes.
were on the tennis team, had a scholarship at FAMU. So how in the heck does a former really good collegiate tennis player make their way to pickleball?
Well, interestingly enough, Carolyn Allaire, who doesn't play as much pickleball anymore. First of all, Glenn Hart brought the sport. Brought the sport to the Tallahassee. I tried it out. Just another sport. Caroline Allaire used to teach her tennis, and she keeps bugging me, come to play with me. I said, well, Caroline, and I'm busy. I'm always on the tennis court. One day it's raining. I said, Caroline, I'm going to come with you. We go to Sue McCullum. Of course, to me, it was like mini tennis.
Right.
Although I didn't know none
Yes.
of the rules. I was stepping in the kitchen, doing all
Yeah.
kind of stuff. But within like 45 minutes, I got a hang of it. Now, this is kind of fun. I could use my tennis background and dominate in this game. So I start playing, and everybody's like, can you teach me? I'm like, oh, this is interesting. So I opened my own business. Right? And then from then on, I started playing competition.
You've played some pro pickleball.
Yes. The guys you see on TV, the Ben Johns, the Kyle Yates, I used to play all of them in the villages. I used to travel to the villages quite often.
Wow.
To because that's where the best players were. In Tallahassee, we didn't have a lot of players of my level or my age, so it was difficult to practice. So when I practiced, I had to practice 2-on-1, 3-on-1 to make it almost even. But at the villages, I could do a 1-on-1 and it would be quite even. So I traveled quite a bit. I did a lot of tournaments over the 10 years I've been doing it, and after that, the city came on and said, hey, let's do pickleball.
Yeah.
And who's best to do it? I'm already on the team, so
Right.
I end up taking over that.
that's-
And I started off teaching all the clinics. Now we have 4 instructors,
know.
including yourself.
Yes.
We had leagues, clinics that we still have on Wednesdays at Tom Brown and at 4th Avenue. And it's just really grown. I mean, half the people now, I don't even know their names, which is good.
It
Which is good, which
It
is good.
And with the growth, as you mentioned, comes some adjustments, but
Right.
that's kind of a good thing. So for the match that we're watching, they just switched sides. So Sarah and Mark have 6 points, and I think it's 6-2.
And the thing with Sarah and Mark, obviously they're husband and wife.
Yeah.
So they know each other by the back of their hand, right?
Which is sometimes good, sometimes bad.
But in this case, it's good because they listen to, and then they've been playing so much, they kind of know the respect that they have for each other and what it's supposed to do.
Yes.
I mean, I've worked with both of them doing our lessons, and the key I tell them is just listen to her. Just listen to her.
Yes.
She's right.
Yes.
So it's been working.
That's probably what she says to him too. So it's
See, but
getting
Sarah's not coming in. You notice that Sarah's staying back, and they're not taking advantage of that.
Right.
If you get a high ball like that, hitting it to Sarah would not be the best thing to do.
Yes.
You hit it to Mark, he's closer to you. But then again, and this is where the levels come in, right?
Mm-hmm.
You're getting away with it at a lower level, right? And all of a sudden, you move up and I get beat. It's not you getting beat, just the wrong selection of shot.
I think that's so important. It's that shot selection. So he was able to drive that, get it low to them.
One of the big things you'll see, though, and I always teach is that, they just missed that shot, right? There was no, let's go, come on, we got this.
Yeah.
So it's not you by yourself, But when they win the point, they clap it.
Oh, great
So
idea.
let's see the clap. You see, there's no clap, you see?
Yeah.
It's just one person leaves and one person goes back. You don't want that. You
Great
want to have-
idea by Mark to try
Right.
and lift
Lob
it,
it, right.
lift it over.
And the both teams are doing it. If they don't win the point, they're not really clapping each other,
True.
Which is not good.
A little bit too much backswing and
Yeah. And the court is only 44 feet long, so you start driving the ball, it'll float out really quick.
yeah. And you mentioned Sarah playing back, but you don't really see too much of the one up, one back that you might see in tennis.
And no, and that's because, controlling the net is key for both sports, but in this sport, the court is so small, the ball doesn't bounce that high, and the kitchen is such a neutralizer. If you're not up there, 80% of the time you probably lose a point. You see how both of them are back?
Yeah.
So you see, she just ran up, but she doesn't have a time. She couldn't set up. So
Right, and she
she's gonna
didn't
hit.
get set
Exactly.
on that. When I teach people, they'll sometimes say, "Oh, I don't want to come in because they'll lob it over my head." So what do you say to them?
That's interesting because the first thing I tell them is, when was the last time they lobbed you?
Yeah.
They hadn't lobbed you yet, so were you planning for them to lob you? So if someone hasn't done anything to you, don't look for it.
Yes.
Now if they did one time, it's time to identify themselves as a lobber. But don't protect someone that doesn't need protecting.
Yeah, 'cause lobbing's kind of hard.
It is
in this
difficult.
game.
It's very difficult. And one of the best places to lob actually in this game is from the kitchen.
Okay.
Believe it or
Why-
not.
Why
when-
is that?
Because we're in the kitchen, if you could compromise that person a little bit and then lob them, they have much greater distance to run than if you're on the baseline. They can see the ball at a longer distance, right?
And I know from teaching with you, you use that term to compromise someone a lot. So talk about what that means.
And when I say compromise, it means necessarily to put a person in a bad position.
Okay.
So if I could put you in a bad position, I could obviously have the upper hand on you.
Yeah.
See, at
So
9-7, right?
Yes.
9-7. You take a little break. Try
Right.
to break the momentum of the other players,
So
right?
Sarah and Mark called
Right.
a timeout, which is perfect
Very good.
thing. You see, now she's out there encouraging each other,
Right.
and this team's just chilling.
It'd be nice to know what they're telling each other.
It would be. Yeah. To see whether they can take advantage of this.
I suspect
lead
that
that
Sarah
they
said,
have.
if you want to eat something tonight, you better win. That's what I'm thinking.
So 9-7, playing to 11. Got that nice
So you see he's
deep,
staying back? You see how he's staying back?
going after Sarah.
He's
Oh,
gonna. Now she won the point, but you want to go
Yeah.
after the person closest, right?
yes. So potential game and match point
Yeah.
here. Nice, hard, deep serve.
Sarah's still back. Yeah, there you go. That's the shot I was talking about.
I do know
That's
Michael.
the
He's a
shot.
tennis player, and that's a tennis.
Yes,
that's a
tennis
tennis
swing right there.
overhead. Yeah, that was a good close match.
That was a good game. You know, like I said, you see a few decision-making process where the person's selection of shot, the position is not there. And that's the key to the whole game.
Absolutely. Well, thank you so much, Lennon, for coming over and chatting, because I know this has been a busy, challenging 3 days for you with the weather and indoors. Let's go outdoors.
Right. But that's part of the game, right?
Yes.
And we're going to get it done every time. All right, Amber, thank you so much.
Yep, thank you.
All right, my lady.
Take care.
All right, bye-bye.
All right, and that's going to wrap up our coverage, or the city's coverage of pickleball. Thanks for joining us. Remember, if you want to see the action, you can see it on demand at the talgov.com YouTube channel. So thanks everybody for watching.